Hello, welcome to Honest Wargamer. I'm your host Rob, and it's a Monday and we're talking AOS. Hi Nathan, welcome to the show.
Hello, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. So one of the first things that you guys may hear, obviously, is that my voice is not great. I ended up losing it Friday evening and then did an entire 6-game tournament with what at one point can only be described as a comical voice.
A comical voice?
Yeah, but you know what? I feel I'm not actually very energy down, but I sound like I'm talking energy down. I'm very energy up, just my voice. Maybe I'm being sensitive. I feel like I'm being sensitive. So I'm going to start, fuck it, I'm just going to go for it. Yeah. And if I lose my voice halfway, welcome to the show.
Just become a mime show.
So yeah, so Nathan will read what you guys are saying in the chat out.
Well, JPIC says go, 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 which is...
Go, 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 go.
No, it's go, 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 go.
Oh, for God's
which
sakes.
Is in the belly for granny. He's calling you a granny. Go on, JPIC. You know it.
Who else is in the chat, Nate?
We've also got Orkboy Phil. Hello, Orkboy Phil. And WD Gorlord. WSD Gorlord.
That's Frank.
Salini. Is that the one that... hey, Salini, are you the dude doing the grots on Twitter? If so... good. If not, well, good anyway.
And, do you know what? I want to do an entire show. I just want to do an entire show. I've just decided when Nathan talks to the Twitch chat. There you go. Show decided for me in the future.
Hook and Pin, hello. Yeah, it was great to see Hook and Pin.
It was great to meet you, Hook and Pin. It was really lovely. Yeah. And the whole gang, the whole Hook and Pin gang were there.
Yeah. All of them chaps. Hello, everybody else. OJ, Korg, Mia Mouse. Hellstorm Dan with his dry dude dusty pussy. Cool.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
So Nathan, who do we usually say thank you to when we start the show?
Oh, them laddos on that use Patreon
and the people
and the people that subscribe on this here Twitch thing.
Just like
that JPIC guy who's just subscribed.
Thank you very much, JPIC.
We called you a granny and then he subscribed. He's a legend.
Thank you to everyone on Patreon. Just want you guys to know that you've got some great content coming out for you guys. And you guys, Nathan, you've seen a little bit about the upcoming project, right? It's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Looks good. Yeah. I think it'd be a useful little tool.
All right, so we're not gonna faff around today. Is the plan? Yeah, with our usual level. Nathan, have you had any Warhammer experiences in the past week? And if not, we'll just get straight on with the review of the grand finals this weekend.
Yeah, let's do the grand finals.
You just want to get on with that?
Yeah. I don't think I've done anything Warhammer related. I've just done some painting of some bases. That's about it, really. So.
Classic bases. Hi Pete. Hi Hook and Pin. Hi John. Hi Scars and Proda. I hope you're all well. My voice is a lot better than it was Sunday morning. It was a joke. So, all right, I'm just going to go for it, Dave.
He's old tomorrow. He's older.
There is some news.
That's why they call him.
There is some news to talk about. Oh, OJ, thanks for joining the knee stabbing gang. Sure, I'm just going to lose my voice over the next hour. I'm just going to talk. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right.
What news?
So there was an event in Brisbane called BizHammer. Yeah, it was actually BizHammer 2, most importantly. It was run by Chris Stratford. So well done, Chris, for just running an event. By the way, Chris has got fantastic shorts. Oh, Pa, thanks for subscribing. How long for Pa been subscribing? Like 9 months, 7 months?
7 months.
What a babe.
Yeah.
What a babe. Thank you. So BizHammer 2, this weekend, it was won by Chuck. Chuck attended the Sydney Slaughter, just gone, I think. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But he took Dreadwood to that. He didn't win that, but he did win this. Chuck.
Was it Dreadwood as well?
I think Dreadwood or like a version of the Dreadwood list, but definitely Sylvaneth, which is cool. Yeah. So another Sylvaneth player doing really well somewhere in the world.
That's good.
That's really cool. Also, there was the Michigan GT this weekend.
Yeah.
Now, I'm very sorry that I don't know his name. I did spend about 20 minutes looking. Problem is, again, if you don't have the right resources to go and find stuff, like tournament results, like if you don't know who ran it, as an example, you don't know where to look for results. But I know that was won by Flesh Eater Courts.
Ah, good stuff.
This is weekend.
I wonder what list that was. That was cool.
That would be really cool to know, right?
Yeah, if it was a summoning list or just interesting. Yeah.
Hi, Grob Dugga, and hi, Pete. What's that? Evening long shot, Loxley. Yeah, so I mean, that's really cool. What do you think about that? That's some nifty, some Sylvaneth. So, and obviously the GT Finals heat were won by #so hot right now.
Yeah.
Ben Sava.
Ben Sava.
Yeah, that's right.
Daughters of Cain.
So Daughters of Cain won an event, Flesh Eating Courts won an event, and Sylvaneth won an event.
Hello, AD.
Oh, AD Mac?
Yeah.
Awesome. I got a great story about AD Mac in a bit, Nath. Great story.
And Lofthammer, hello there.
Dave's doing the work. That's great.
I'm trying to read that thing.
But that's a pretty healthy place for Age of Sigmar to be.
Yeah.
3 different tournaments in 3 different countries. I mean, that's a big deal in of itself.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, 3 different factions won those 3 different tournaments.
Yeah, it's
pretty
well,
cool.
yeah, I mean, I was looking through Twitter trying to find updates for the GT, and there were loads of little updates of little tournaments here, there, and everywhere, like little campaign weekends and other little tournaments of all sorts of
Oh, really?
variety, like small little wonders and stuff like that. So, yeah, people are playing Warhammer everywhere all the time now.
It's fucking fab.
Yeah,
Yeah. If it feels like it's going just international. Heidi Mac, Collie C, that'll be Colin Cochrane, who we spent a lot of this weekend with.
Oh, yeah.
He's a gentleman and a genius.
He's quite a dude, yeah.
And hi, just Nikos. If you've just joined us, obviously I just want to say, if you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, we're live on Twitch. That's where we're taking the questions. Again, thank you to everyone on Patreon and everyone who subscribes. Some cool news, Nath. Actually, I can confirm today. Well, I can confirm one thing today.
Yeah.
So I'll be going over to Belfast at the end of January, beginning of February. I've already forgot the date because I'm an idiot.
Sometime next year.
Yeah. But I'm going to be, hold on, I'll tell you the date because then it might be worth, people can put it in their calendar right now to book it off, right?
Yeah. Sign Rad for, that's 11 months in a row now. Freaking heck, nearly a whole year.
I know, we're doing a party.
Are we? Oh,
yeah.
Cool. And Peter Pratt, evening, boss. Yeah.
Hi, Pete Pratt.
Have you found your date?
Yeah, it's actually the beginning of February. It's the 2nd and 3rd. The Ulster Warlords event in Belfast. So the Honest Wargamer is going to be live streaming from there as well.
Oh.
Or I'm going and they're streaming. I don't know. But I'll be commentating at that event.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Which is pretty great.
You'll have your voice back by then.
Well, yes. It's already coming back now.
Yeah. Sounding loads better than it did those messages you left in the WhatsApp group the other day. I was like, who's this guy?
In the UK, all right, Rob, if you're looking for a sponsor, I can hook you with the owner of Goblin Gaming. We're not. We don't take sponsors. We are crowdfunded by the wonderful people on Patreon and Twitch. So we only give honest reviews. But if he wants to send us something that's got a goblin on it, we'd be over the moon. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, anything with a goblin.
We're into gobos, yes.
Hi, Rintra. Hi, Frederick984. Mere Mouse. Oh, so many cool people in the chat. Right. So, that's awesome. Michigan. So, Nathan. People playing Warhammer all over the world.
Yeah,
great news.
Yeah,
and all armies doing well. Loads of different armies doing well. So the heat this weekend at Warhammer World was the GT Heat Finals.
Yeah.
So is that like a major deal in the gaming world? Games Workshop would like it to be, obviously, because it's their premiere final for their premiere event.
Yeah.
So there were 3 heats of.
Yeah, that led up to that thing.
Of 90-ish people, which ended up with 80 people being, I think 100 people being able to buy a ticket, but only 80 people, I think, were in attendance.
Made it, yeah.
Made it. So right off the bat, the first thing I can say is the atmosphere was amazing. It's probably the best weekend of Warhammer I've had. Very little to do with the venue, very little to do with the events team. The events team were great.
Yeah.
And that's not meant to be a slight. I'm just saying the reason it was so great is there was just so many great people there. So many good games of Warhammer, so many amazing ideas being thrown around. There were some really exciting matchups. And it was just, but what most importantly, more than anything, it was just a really healthy atmosphere, Nath. Like people were just playing games. And what was really fun was everyone who'd lost a game knew that they were out of potentially winning, right? Because it was 6 games.
Yeah.
So after that, everyone was still, like, you and me lost a game, let's say, we'd still be playing to win, but we'd be playing to win and we're having fun.
Yeah.
Like, where there wasn't that monster in the background, like, that little bit of pressure demon, like, oh, you've won 3 games, so, maybe you should try hard in the next game. I'm still trying hard. I had some incredible games. But you could tell, like, there was just a lot of competitive wargaming, just all over. So, like, my experience was brilliant.
Cool.
Because you popped in for a bit, didn't you?
Yeah, I popped in a bit on the Saturday, but it was during the lunch break, so I didn't get to actually see any gaming. But,
Okay.
there were a few guys just finishing their first game, I assume, just before lunch. But, yeah. I just bumped in. I just walked in to say hello to everybody.
Yeah, it was because it was such a great group of people, right?
Yeah.
Hi Aaron Wilson, hi Paul DC, hi Splinter MD, Midwest US. There's a pile of events happening over the fall and winter. It's going to be dope. If you want to fly the Honest Wargamer out to do the live streaming from that event, let us know. Because I'm covering the event in Ireland. We're going to be covering another event as well. So Honest Wargamers are going to be covering at least 5 events next year with live commentary.
Wow,
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's so far. Where else are we going to cover? That's my question. Hi, Callum Roth. The atmosphere was amazing. But the atmosphere started off on Friday night.
Yeah.
Friday day, where I got to play. I played 9 games of Warhammer since Friday. It's been amazing. I played 3. I played 3 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. All just cracking games.
Cool. Yeah.
Cracking. So I was just going to talk about them. That's right.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've asked Ben Sava. Ben Sava says he's going to come on the show later on in the week. So listen for that, either a live show or listen to it as a podcast, which is awesome. I'm also going to talk to Andy Hughes, my now #1 game rival. I'll talk about that in a bit. Me and Andy Hughes are going to talk all things Chaos Dwarves. So that'll be another show separate. Me and Jonathan are going to do another show this week as well. Okay. We're going to talk about playing in the realms. I just can't talk for 4 hours today because I want to talk. Unfortunately for you, Nathan, you're going to have to talk about all of that another day because I want to talk all about with you. Okay. But I want to say first off,
as long as I don't have to talk for 2 hours about Chaos Dwarves. I've talked about them enough already.
Right. So, and hello everyone who's joined us. If I sound a bit weird, it's because I lost my voice. This is the best my voice has been for a few days. Hi, Wandering Rogue One. So yeah, Nath, do you want to hear? Do you want to just ask me some questions?
Yeah. So you just had some like friendly warm-up games on Friday.
Not friendly.
Not friendly.
Competitive
some real
as hell.
Competitive, kicking people each other in the dick, headbutting for the first time.
Oh, and actually,
all of that sort of stuff.
Before I get on to talk about, because I have written it in order here, I think there's a few things I want to say before I talk about my games, including the Friday. It's totally worth it. First thing I want to say is I want to say thank you to everyone who came up and said hello to me over the weekend. Like, it's a little bit tough, you know, when people have got like Twitch names or Twitter handles or you've spoken to them once or whatever it might be.
Or they're in disguise, if there's espionage, double agents from the third
the realm of shadow.
The moon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really difficult to know who we're talking to sometimes.
So I want to say massive thank you to everyone. And I want everyone to know that, like, if I didn't speak to you, number one, I couldn't talk. But if I didn't speak to you because, like, maybe we should know each other, or maybe you do watch the stream, or you're a subscriber, or any of those things, which I hugely appreciate. Just next time, I want people just to come and say hello. I'm sure you're the same, Nath. Like, if you watch the show and you listen, like, come over and say, "You know what, I listen to you guys. You pair of idiots all day long." Like, that's fine. I want to hear it. So, like, thank you to everyone who said hello, and also anyone in the future, just come say hello, because, like, the best bit about this weekend was I did nothing but talk about Warhammer all weekend. There was just so many, like, people were telling me about their lists, telling me about cool things they would do. Someone this weekend taught me in Age of Sigmar, and this is a secret. I'm not going to tell you how you can do it right now, but what you can do is you can just make Nagash have no abilities.
No abilities.
Have no abilities.
Oh, cool.
Imagine that.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, hi, I'm Nagash. You've got no abilities now, Nagash. Pick another character, Nath. Pick any character. The character that's really strong and you don't like. What about Marathi? You can only kill her. Do 3 wounds to her. You can turn that off and she can have no abilities.
What? And so you can kill her outright?
In one go.
That's wicked.
You want to hear about that, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, see? Right, and that's all weekend. I heard so many things. I watched Darren Watson constantly, he's like, oh yeah, I keep murdering Scar and so many bloodletters. I've got 800 extra points. I was like, I don't know what's happening. Yeah? There was and I forgot his name, and he's a really fucking nice bloke. I feel like a dick. There was a guy with Archeon and Varangard, and he was kicking face. There was a guy with Slanesh Demons, he was kicking face. Like, the armies, as in composition, and they were really pretty as well, but the composition of the armies were amazing. The matchups were so... I could have watched... I'm going to get onto that later, but I could have watched dozens of games, and I wanted to talk to everyone. That was the thing. I was just like, what are you doing? What are you playing? Who are you playing with? How's it going? And then by Sunday, I was like, hi! Anyway, so thank you to everyone who come and said hello. And then I have a personal shout out to make, Nath, to, I think you say it, Gianni. Yeah, or it might be Yanni. Yeah, but either way, he made me this. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Right. He made me this. This is a cup. You guys obviously on the podcast can't hear this. It's a cup. Well, it's a dice cup. It says wire on the side. He said, share it with Nathan. And then I text you and I said, fuck you, I'm keeping this. Yeah. But we'll use this in the studio. And that is just, look at how cool is that?
Yeah,
right. And he brought that. And him and his stepson, Alan, I played them at a doubles game a few years ago with Dan. And did you see me? I put a picture up of Alan's Nagash that had LEDs in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was them. And just the nicest pair of people you might ever want to play Warhammer with. Nicest pair of people. And then to make a cup like that and then bring it to me, it kind of just, Nathan, I was like done. He gave me this cup. I was like, this is cool. I'm going to leave the event now. I'm just having a great day. So, yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
How did you do, dog?
Man.
That was cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? I just want to say thank you. That's just really cool. And also, that light up Nagash was amazing. He also had an idol on a Mathalan, but it was a vampire lord and zombie dragon. Well, not a vampire. It was just it was a vampire lord, but like a normal foot vampire. But he'd converted it out of 8 different kits. But what I really respected was it was on a 40mm base. The whole thing. It's like 40mm base.
Massive thing.
Yeah, and I was like, this is the new challenge. What's the largest thing you can get on a 40mm base? Because my record is a dragon and a phoenix.
Bumming each other.
The guy was called Anthony. Sorry, Robert Extrem. So Anthony, not Alan. Yeah, it's because I fucking messaged Dan. Yeah, today. Yeah. I was like, what's the guy's name with the light of Nagash? He was like, it's Anthony. I was talking to him all weekend. And sometimes, you talk to someone for a while, Nath. Yeah. And then you go, I can't ask you your name now.
All the time.
I can't. But then that's because I've forgotten the name, because I'm dumb. Yeah. Anyway, that's Anthony, and Anthony's fucking great. Yeah. And his stepdad's really great, and they're really cool. And his stepdad had a beautiful Daughters of Cain army as well. I feel like such a twat that I got his name wrong. Whatever. So, before I go on to talk about my games and my experience over the weekend, because that's super self-aggrandizing, obviously, let's just talk about the ends first.
The ends?
The end. Winner, fucking the best coffee shop, barista, fucking fashion guru with a Tumblr blog about Instagram stories. Yeah. The edgelord himself, Mr. Ben Sava. Yeah. Hashtag so hot right now.
He is pretty hot right now.
Isn't he hot right now? Won with the Daughters of Cain. Was 6-0. 6 games to 0. Won 6 majors, just kicked out of the park. He's a lovely bloke. Looked fantastic on the Sunday. No one looked good on the Saturday because it was 1,000 degrees.
Everybody was wilting a bit.
Yeah, I played Nick from WS10, Nick Thompson from WS10 on Tuesday. And on the Saturday, he was like, I used to work in a drop forge in the summer. Yeah, he's like,
this is lekker.
He's like, this is quite warm. And I was like, yeah, still saying that's quite warm compared to a drop forge. Yeah, it was boiling. It was 1,000,000 degrees. So Ben looked like he was playing, looks like he was playing tennis in 1907 on the Saturday. Yeah, it's an all white combo outfit. Again, best dressed man in Warhammer. Yeah, Ben Sava, so hot right now.
Yeah. And so he came prepared for the heat.
He did. It wasn't heat because of the sun, Nathan. Yeah. You can't reflect heat with white. That's not how it works.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can reflect sun.
You reflect the other war gamers with your white. white suit. That's why the guys in Ghostbusters wear like pale clothes.
Okay. Anyway, everyone in the chat, if you're watching, or if you're listening to this back, Mr. Ben Sava, or anyone is, the chat's just going mental with hashtag so hot right now. Twitter exploded last night with that hashtag so hot right now. What was funny is we were all boiling on the Saturday, so everyone was hot right now. But I thought, wouldn't it be cool if that became the new hashtag if someone wins a tournament? You know, like you win a tournament, you're like, that guy, hashtag so hot right now. I think it's cool. Yeah. You chuff a Ben?
Yeah. Good for him. He must feel chuffed as anything. Then I mean, so he won
Angel Call last week.
5 games the weekend before, so and then 6 that weekend. So
11 games in a row.
On the trot.
11 games in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Wandering Rogue One, I was in a ball soup on the Saturday. It was so hot. It was so hot. So currently Ben Sava's on an 11, a competitive tournament, 11-game win streak, which is crazy, right? 5 and 6. He's going to Blood and Glory. I know that's true. Oh no, is he? He might not be actually. But Ben Sava's currently the man to meet, back-to-back champion. But there was such stiff competition. There was a bunch of great Daughters of Cain player there as well. There was Colin Cochrane, who'd won Facehammer recently. There was Nick Thompson from WS10. I played a guy called Chris. He seemed like he said he was the best Daughters of Cain player before the Battletome came out. I was like, were you the only one? And he was like, maybe. But he was awesome.
So not on the bandwagon, that guy.
The lady's
found them. The one person that's not.
And the lady was like, he's playing Warhammer in a fencing suit too. Sweet. Yeah, honestly, what I really enjoy is today, I was just like, on Twitter, I put something like, oh, he looked really great. And then Donal came in. No, I said, oh, well done. So hot right now. And Donal came straight in with, big question, what were you wearing? Yeah. Ben Sava didn't miss a beat. He's like, great white number from this place. Yeah. Short trousers, just so you can see the top of my high tops. And I was like, Warhammer's got sexy. That's what Warhammer's got. It's got sexy. There's Mr. Nick Thompson in the chat right now. Hi, Nick. So, Ben won. Congratulations. I got to say, I've never played Ben. Nate, you play Ben?
No.
He seems like a gentleman.
Didn't he? What did he used to play before?
Skaven.
Oh, Skaven.
Do you remember he used to play Clan Scryer?
No.
Yeah. He did really quite well with them as well. Yeah. And then I first met Ben, still looking great, when he used to play with. I think his first. Splitters. Well, he played with Bone Splitters, but they were all made out of Plague Bearers.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
They all had Plague Bearers.
Yeah.
They all had. They were all bones. They had Plague Bearer bodies, maybe? No. I think they were Bone Splitters bodies, but Plague Bearer heads, and they're all Nurgle, so it was like a mix. It looked great, didn't it? That was his first army.
One that we remember first from him.
I hope he wins Blood and Glory too, yeah. Hi, first place. I hope I've been. I'm pretty sure. I like my Daughters of Cain army back in the day when it was greeted with, oh, you bought the Witch Elves. Here's a gent to play. So there you go, Mr. Ben Sava getting a, not only he smashed it, he's also a treasure on the tabletop. And you can't really ask for more from that. Hi, Rob Extreme.
That's all you need, yeah.
Thanks for subscribing, Rob Extreme. So he's the man to beat. So if you want to follow him on Twitter, I'm going to include his.
He's got a big target on him now.
He has got a big target on him. He's the man to beat. Nate, do you think you could beat that list?
Obviously, if I took the dispossessed.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't. Yeah. It's an interesting list. A lot of people were prepped to play Daughters of Cain. I played him twice. Got my dick pushed in one time, but we'll talk about that in a sec. So, in second though, came Sedge, with a full Nighthaunt army, Nath. And it wasn't 90 Reapers. There were 30 Reapers, but there were also 8 or 12 Banshees. There are a bunch of characters. There were some of the Bladegeist Revenants in his list. It was like a nice mixture of stuff. He kept saying that it was balanced. And I was like, don't know what you mean by that, Sedge. He kept saying it, and I was like, Sedge, what do you mean? And he went, what I mean is a nice mixture of units. And I was like, okay, I don't think that's what balanced means, but...
At least he's got a mix. At least it's not spam.
Yes, which would, like, I don't think balance is the opposite to spam, right? I think that's what he was getting at.
Yeah, they don't have to, they're not.
Yeah, so we got that answer on the tabletop. But Sedge got 5 majors and a minor, but there was a bit of an issue with, and this is not taking anything away, congratulations to Sedge, well done.
Sorry, he didn't lose game either.
No, but he did come in, because it was Swiss, so Swiss is, if you win a game, you play someone else who's won a game. Sedge was late on the Sunday, and that was because the pack is poorly written, truth be told. So a couple of people were late on the Sunday morning, because if you scrolled up and down, basically if you read the pack, and it says Sunday, Nath, and it says the time that it's opening. But if you scrolled a little bit further, it goes, for the final, we open earlier.
Oh, okay, yeah. Say you arrived late, say you didn't get to play...
So he didn't get to play someone else who won.
Matchup.
He didn't get to play his matchup. And that's not taking anything away from him at all. That's just calling it as it's fair. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Which I think is the right bit. I think that's completely
sure, that would be fine. I mean, that's only game 4 anyway, so it's not that... Yeah. Out of 6 games, I don't think it would have changed that much, really.
No. But Bean says, I'm surprised at how many different compositions the Daughters of Cain list we're seeing. I thought everyone would be running 90 Witch Elves, which is, it's very different. If we take three of the Daughters of Cain armies that I know of, like, pretty well, Nick had all snakes and Marathi, and no Cauldron of Blood.
Yeah.
Ben has got the Cauldron of Blood. He's still got Marathi.
But he's got sisters.
He's got sisters. He's got 2 units of Witch Elves, unit sisters. Obviously the Heart Renders are amazing. We'll talk about that in a minute, because I think the Heart Renders are where the power is really. Because you have to go fight the Witch, you don't have to go fight the Witch Elves, but like, they can come and fight you, but they've got that thing that if you for a moment leave an objective, they're just going to go score that with those Heart Renders at any point. Most people don't have that option in their army. So I wonder how many games, if you talk to Daughters of Cain players and you said, how many games have you won? Because it's an objective-based game. Yeah. How many games have you won because of the Heart Renders over opposed to everything else? And I'd be really interested in what the feedback is there. So if you're out there, guys, you want to tweet me and maybe I could talk about that next show. Anyway. A Wandering Rogue won me. It was supposed to play on table 1. I ended up playing Sam with his Archeon list. Says Wandering Rogue. So if that's you, Sedge? Is that you, Sedge?
No, that's Gary.
That's Gary.
Gary played.
That's not Gary.
Yeah, Gary was.
He's got a different. Is it a different name? He's got a different name on the chat when he jumps in.
Was that you, Gary? Wandering Rogue 1?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought it was.
Okay. So that's Sedge. But a full Nighthorn army did really well. Either way.
Yeah,
either way. Calling it like I said. Really cool. Really happy with that. And then finally, Terry Pike. This is Terry Pike. Facehammer fame. Won it with his beautiful, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Ben Sava's army is beautiful as well, as he said. Thricefold. Sorry, he had a Maggotkin army, but it was the Thricefold Befoulment Battalion. I think that's what it's called. Basically, it's the 3 great unclean ones, which obviously in the realms with all the spells, because they were active this weekend, went to town. He even beat his co-host, Mr. Rusfield. In a game, I think.
Well, they played each other.
They played each other, which I chuckled at. I turned around, I was playing the game, I was like,
because Russ had a nice list as well, Bloodbound. So
yeah, MSU Bloodbound.
Yeah, similar to
Darren's. Yeah. I think Darren has been playing it for a while, and then I think Russ has seen that, and he had it painted up previously, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he just kind of was like, "Oh, I'm jumping on that."
Great, yeah. It's a nice little list. Big list.
Then, hello everyone, by the way. So so again, massive shout out to Mr. Terry Pike. Well done. His army's just crazy pretty. I did see him talking. He was talking to Tom at one point, and he was saying he did this. He was like, why, when I bring a silly list, is it doing really well? And I was like, I don't think it is a silly list. That's the thing about a lot of players. They play their army down a lot. That's their thing. Yeah. I imagine it's a couple of reasons. If they lose, they don't have to be like, why did you lose with a good army?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is just fucking own it. Yeah. own it. If you win, they're like, I did it with a silly list. I'm like, it's not that silly. 3 great and clean ones, kicking ass. It's pretty strong. But there we go. But then most important award was the sports vote. Now this is where things get a little bit controversial, Nathan, because on the day, the award was the favourite player. That was the award. It was for the favourite player. And to quote Tony Moore said, I'm my own favourite player. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. But
if he likes to play with himself, I bet he loves it.
But isn't that a weird way to describe it as an award? The favourite player.
Don't know.
I think it's weird.
Do you?
I think it was a weird way to put it.
I think you're weird, so.
Well, everyone thinks I'm weird. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. Oh, also 100 people again, Nath.
What, as opposed to like most sporting or something?
Yeah,
like
most
that?
sporting, because it was for the most sporting.
Yeah, well, problem is when people vote for that, because it's player voted all the time, they don't vote for the person that was the most sporting. They vote for the person that they enjoyed the game with.
Oh,
the
I
most.
fucking know, Nath. Yeah, I only got 1. Yeah. Oh no, I got 2. I got 2. Yeah. No, it's true. I was having a conversation with a lovely man about this today, and it's right. Like my games, and again, if you've only just joined us, the thing about this weekend was the environment was amazing because of the people there. Again, that's not to take away from the venue. That's not to take away from the event staff. It's not to take away from everything else. The people that were there were bonkers cool. Like, it was competitive gaming. And actually, I've had some problems going to the 40k heats, Nathan. Again, I haven't been to their final, but going to 40k heats has been a little bit awkward because there are people who just don't know how to play and there are people who are just trying too hard to win. Yeah. Especially when they don't know how to play. Yeah. Whereas because this is the finals, everyone's used to winning or losing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot of that kind of pressure or like saltiness was definitely removed from the whole. It seemed from my 6 games. It's a small sample size of just really great thing. Anyway, too many Brits for my taste, says Mr. Jonathan Atlan. Couldn't agree with you more. But speaking of non-Brits, anyway, favourite person of the event, yeah, and again, fantastically dressed individual, pretty great looking, if I do say so myself, yeah. I'm not buttered that way because he's white, not black. But, yeah, Mr. Steve Curtis, yeah, gorgeous fella, was playing with Nagash. Yeah, so, and that, Nagash is, I don't want to say he's the boogeyman, because obviously that's a bit silly because he's a big giant god of death. He's literally a spooky ghost.
Big ghost. The boogeyman is under your bed.
But he played with Nagash. He had a Legions of Nagash army, and got 5 favourite game votes, and that's awesome, you know. And I made it up for him. Like, I've never played him, but we had a couple of chats over the weekend, and he was nothing but lovely. Cool.
No. I scrolled through the score sheet quickly, looking at the favourite game votes because that's what I like. I saw there were about 4 or 5 people with 5 favourite game votes. So yeah, there's some popular dudes out there.
Yeah.
Oscar got a 5er as well. So yeah, some good games.
Yeah. So and he's got to be over the moon. My favourite award, realistically, I think. Like, I would like to win all Warhammer games, but I would also like everyone who I play to have a great game. And that's my own personal thing. So hello everyone. Blue is here. Thanks for subscribing 3 months in a row. Hi Omega Havoc. Hi Sticky Blue Toffee. Tom, how you doing? Happy birthday from the other day. Hi Aaron Wilson, Iddy, Jonathan Atland. I did see someone else a second ago. Someone said hello. Frank, how you doing?
LV is in the house.
LV's in the house. LV desperately trying to find out which factions got played because the results went up as Order, Chaos, Order. So if anyone wants to help out, there's a guy called LLV on Twitter. He's got a link. Hi Velatron. There'll be a link in the chat. Either John or Velatron will put it in there. If we can find out who all of the factions were played by, we're crowdsourcing the information. Because Games Workshop apparently lost the information.
So it's like Bobo all over again.
It's nice to know that Games Workshop run their event as well as Bobo. And anyway, finally...
They obviously model their events on Bobo.
I mean, literally the same. Basically down to the wire.
Yeah.
And then...
They're just missing out on the good bingo, shit bingo. Good prize, shit prize bingo. Whatever the fuck it's called.
OJ, thanks for donating 100 bits. Oh, no, I can hear it going. Pete played Steve at Bobo, put up with me drunk. He's a legend. That's great. Okay, good. Yeah, Steve Curtis. Big shout out. Follow him on Twitter. Follow him. Also follow whatever like push-up / diet regime he's on. He looks fantastic. Yeah, he also wore possibly the most ironic t-shirt ever. Did you see?
Oh yeah, something about don't talk to me. I've had enough social interaction.
No, his t-shirt said, "Stop looking at this t-shirt. You've been online too long or something." There's a picture of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's good anyway. And then the best army, as in the most prettiest army, best painted.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. Again, they've got a weird name for everything. Best army, all right. Went to, obviously, Oscar. Oscar's Paints. A Swede living in America with just one of the most pretty armies in the world right now. Stormcast army. It's beautiful. It's loads of non-metallic metals. It's gorgeous. It's got the most triggering unit in the game in there. The fucking Comet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks hot. His one.
Yeah. His one looks hot.
So
hot.
now.
It's not as hot as Ben Sava, but it's pretty fucking hot. That's right.
It's pretty hot right now, but it's won a big trophy.
But yeah, it looked gorgeous. And what was really fun is watching Oscar play games over the weekend, because me and Oscar played on the Friday. I'm going to talk about my games going through, but I played Oscar on the Friday. What was I going to say? And then through the weekend, this is what I mean. Everyone was just like, how'd you do? Who were you playing? What happened? How did things go? It was just really cool. Everyone was just trading bits. And Jonathan just kind of walked past. Oscar walked past. I was like, how you doing, Oscar? He's like, wow, gaming in England's tough. Wow. And I was like, yes, Oscar, everyone's pretty good.
Especially at the final. So, yeah.
Yeah. Disagree. Right, I held one of these models. It felt like a hostage situation. Yeah, when I played against him, it was a hostage situation. So, big shout out to Oscar, big shout out to Steve, big shout out to Terry, Sedge, and Ben. There's a really great write-up if you guys want to go and look at the list and everything on AOS Shorts. They have a write-up. They'll always put some show stuff up. They'll always put the tournament results up every Monday. If you want to go on there. Because we've worked out a sneaky deal where he does that, and then I do all the talking about it on a Monday night, which is cracking. So there's a really good write-up on there if you want to see some of the information for that.
Cool. AOS Shorts, huh?
AOS Shorts, yeah. Now, there's a couple of other things I want to talk about, Nath.
Yeah.
Before I talk about what I want to do is I want to talk about the whole tournament before I talk about games, because if you just want to hear about the tournament, we'll do that first. If you want to hear about my games, you like rob yourself, aggrandizing prick. I don't want to hear about your games. You can just fucking turn the show off or the podcast off, which is absolutely fine. Yeah, but there were some really interesting things that came up in my games that I think I'd like to talk to you about. So we'll see. Yeah. First thing, which was really cool, is the tournament. So we're playing in the Realms, Nath, and the tournament had printed out what all 6 missions were going to be, because they were picking from all 22 missions that are available. 20 missions, match play missions are available. So the core rule book, and the new General's Handbook. There's 12 in the core rule book and 6 in the new General's Handbook, and then there's 2 in Malign Sorcery. That's where they're located, because you need those 18 books to play Age of Sigmar now. So they printed them out on a sheet, and they left one of those on every single table for the start of the tournament. And they also told you what realm-scape feature was in use and what it did, which was great, so you didn't have to go look it up.
That's cool.
That was really, really cool. And obviously they told you, and in that they also told you what realm it was as well. So, oh dear. How do people go on.
So they didn't pick it randomly? I thought that was going to be the thing.
No, they picked them ahead of time. Whether or not that was a decision from, I don't know what that is.
What their thinking was
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So anyway,
but do you foresee then people have now?
They also picked 6 missions as well.
So do you foresee a lot of tournaments just picking the same 6 and copying that exact thing?
Me and Jonathan are going to have a big chat about the realms. Yeah, as a podcast. And the reason I say that is because Jonathan has a different position to me, and other people might have a different position. From a competitive standpoint, I really don't like the realms. I think that they imbalance the game too much, especially when I also don't like inconsistency. I don't like the fact that I go to tournament A where I can shoot beyond 6 inches or 12 inches, whatever the realm of shadow or the fire one is.
Well, there's two different
ones, yeah.
In the realm of shadow.
There's one in the realm of shadow, and then there's one in the realm of fire.
Two in the realm of shadow.
There's two in the realm of shadow.
No, I think there's 3. There's a 12-incher, an 18-incher, and a 6-incher in the realm of shadow.
Okay. Then
fire means you just can't shoot through terrain.
Yeah. So my long story short is going to be, I don't like the fact that, now if someone wrote a tournament pack and they said, these are the realm-scape features that are going to be in effect, right there and then, when I bought my ticket, I'd be cool, because I know I could be playing, I wouldn't have to worry about what my army was going to be. But then I'm going to go to another tournament and then they are going to put them in effect. I don't like that tournaments are just choosing random, so everyone's not, in the Age of Sigmar community, most of us are not okay with comp to a degree. Yeah, it's like play out of the book. That's the best thing about Age of Sigmar. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. The realm-scape features are comp. Telling me that I can't shoot over 6 inches is a comp. It might only be for one mission, but it just fucks shooting armies. And to only tell me that on the day that I turn up. Now, I'm not talking about my army, because my army shoots 16. It's basically, and it dwarves. Like, one guy did say, how fast they move? And I was like, 4. Like, slow. Like, it didn't affect me at any particular point in the tournament, but I don't like it from a game structure point of view.
Yeah.
Because it wildly dukes what armies are good or bad. Yeah. And it also feels like tournament organisers can pick things based on their personal feelings. Shooting's too strong. We'll pick 2 realm features where you can't do that. Okay, magic's not strong enough. We'll pick the one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know Jonathan doesn't agree, and I know maybe other people don't agree, and I don't know if you disagree or agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not overly a fan of the realms. Really, for competitive, I enjoy the realms a lot, and playing games in them is cool.
Mm.
But I can't. Yeah, I don't think if you're looking for a balanced tournament, then they're probably not going to help. But then I don't care, so that's fine. Bringing them on. So there you go.
Oh, Bruce Hammer 13, my final game. He said he liked the realms. See, go.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, this is my personal thing, and me and Jonathan.
I think most people like the realms, but
I like it in my head.
But you can't say that it makes the tournament more balanced.
Apparently,
It
Nathan,
makes the tournaments less balanced.
You're a little quiet, apparently, Nathan. Let me just turn you up a tad. Talk again.
Yeah. So
there we go.
Yeah,
all right.
Well, I mean, I think they're fun to play with, and I'm all for them. But then I just going to the tournament to have fun games. But if you're going to the tournament and you're expecting a competitive,
that's right,
balanced thing
to turn me up, didn't I?
To try and make stuff, a bit more like a chess game type thing, then obviously the realms are not going to do that.
No, I don't think so either. And especially not to turn up on the day and then find out what they are then.
Yeah.
Now, I had a lot of shooting in my army, but I didn't have a gunline army. You know, I wasn't really, that isn't how I would describe my army. And when I played the game that I played where I couldn't shoot beyond, in the realm of fire, it didn't have any effect. So it wasn't a big deal. Anyway, but the printout was really cool.
Yeah.
Irregardless of how I feel about, because I think that's a massive conversation.
Yeah.
Irregardless of how I feel about the realms.
Well, I just think, so off of the back of the printout, I think a lot of tournaments are going to just take that printout and copy it into theirs, are they?
Maybe, but then I'll give you a really good example. Bone splitters were an issue at one point in the game.
Yeah.
How did we deal with bone splitters?
Just put the points up on the cunning rat.
In game, while they were good.
Oh, while they were good.
Yeah.
Just took more shields.
Just fucking danced a lot. Just fucking moved around. Just got really fucking quick.
We just fought in the shade.
Yeah.
They will blot out the sun.
But what was the go-to tactic for dealing with most players?
You got to kill that boss.
You got to kill that boss. He was a 6-wound hero. Was he 6 wounds? Yeah. No, he was a 5-wound character with a 6 up
5
save.
or 6 wounds. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably 6 because he's bone splitter.
What's the strength of Daughters of Cain currently?
Knives. In your face. Lots of them. Loads of knives. All over your face.
You're such a slut. Right. But what is the current issue realistically with Daughters of Cain? Do you think
hags?
The hags, those 5-wound, 4-up save, weirdly, 5-up ignore damage, so stronger than my Chaos Dwarf.
They got 4-up save.
They got 4-up save.
Fucking
But so they're hags. Now they are -1 to hit from shooting now because of the new shooting rules, right?
Oh, so but you can't shoot them because your guns are restricted to 6 inches anyway.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm like when you reduce one factor of the game, it means that I can't deal with those hags. Like I would say to people that I think you can chaff up Daughters of Cain quite well, in my opinion, having played them a couple of times now. Like, but then being able to kill the hags if you can, knowing that they're tougher than a dwarf lord. Yeah. Still important to remember they're tougher than a dwarf lord. But if you could, but they have a 5-up, but then they're going to be near a cauldron, which gives them a 4-up, right?
The cauldron gives them a 4-up.
If they're in cover, they're in a 3-up.
Yeah, and also they'll have the 6-up ignore, which could be a 5-up ignore if they're from Hagnar.
Exactly.
No.
Right. So so they're damn tough. But let's say someone has I don't know, I definitely could.
Well, I killed Nick's one. But I had to shoot it with 15 thunderers. In a block of 30. So they're a +1 to hit.
Yeah, my answer for dealing with it was throwing a war mammoth at the entire army, hoping the army killed it, and then I could drop the war mammoth on them, then roll 5s and 6s, and then him not roll 5s to save. So, if you don't have and that's my point, if you change factors of the game. This has been too long a point considering how much I can't talk.
What are we talking about?
We were talking about the realm-scape features.
Yeah, they're lacquer.
They're not lacquer.
They are lacquer, but they're not for competitive.
Do you know what? It would be fine. Reduce all shooting to 6 inches, but then there's another realm-scape feature that we play every tournament as well, where all fighting is -2 to hit. And there's no running and charging, and all charges are on 1d6. There you go. Yeah, it's like, cool. I'm like, fine now. Yeah, fuck 2 different styles of gaming, and then we're fine.
Everybody should have a turn game. Fucked up.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on from that. But the printout was great. Is what that was only meant to be. Oh, it was a nice printout. Well done. Apparently, that took too fucking long. So the printout was in total commitment. It was the Realm of Fire, which is cloud, smoke, and steam. So all terrain features were line set blocking. Shifting. So that was the mission. Then shifting objectives was the next mission. In the realm of life, and then that was life spring. So each hero, you could pick one hero and give it an extra wound. Duality of Death was the next mission, which was the realm of metal, and it was the metallic hinterlands, which had no effect. Then it was Knife to the Heart, fucking love Knife to the Heart. In the realm of shadow, and it's perpetual dark. So all abilities and stuff could only work in 6 inches.
No, that's 12 inches.
12 inches. Still wasn't an issue. And then Better Part of Valor was the next mission.
That's really hard for Knife to the Heart, then. Restrict everything to 12 inches.
Yeah, everything 12 inches, and you have to go over there and fight them. Yeah, can't shoot them though. Then the Realm of Death for the 5th mission, Better Part of Valor, and it was Eternal War, which was I forget the realms. What was it? Who did I play that game?
Eternal War.
Yeah. The realm-scape feature was Eternal War. Everyone had an extra one bravery? Yeah, everyone had an extra 1 bravery.
Realm of Death.
Yeah, everyone had +1 bravery.
Yeah.
And then it was Border War, which was the Realm of Light, and it was Gleaming Vista, so it had no effect. So I just
everything was super shiny.
Super shiny. So that was worth talking about, I think, and I'm sure people have enjoyed that. And you could also use the spells from the realms as well.
All of the spells.
All of the spells. Some of those spells, again, in my opinion, you shouldn't be allowed to use the spells. I also disagree with the spells.
Banishment. And all of that stuff.
I just disagree with all of it. I disagree with all of the spells, is what I'm trying to say.
Being a stout dispossessed player, fuck the spells.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Yeah, but the Shadow command ability. So yeah, in Knife to the Heart, you could use the command ability from the Realm of Shadow. Just pick up a unit, and just teleport.
Teleport them, yeah.
Right.
From
now,
the edge of the board, or from a terrain feature or something.
But like it, that really is kind of like giving someone like a round hole and then giving them a round peg and being like, "Hope you can play Warhammer." I'm like, it's the GT Finals. It's like, giving someone that's like, right, can't shoot over 12 inches. It's Knife to the Heart, but don't worry, we're going to give you all the ability. Just throw a unit over there, and I'm like, okay, there's an interesting tactical mix. To drop on everyone at the last fucking second. But the amount of people who are just like, hey Rob, I just picked up a unit and I just teleported over and I just won because no one knows how total commitment, Knife to the Heart works. And I was like, sounds great, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, just silly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But like that composition part, I had a great weekend. I want to also give it a fair review and a good balance. And I was talking to Jonathan about that loads. Personally, I would have just enjoyed playing 6 missions.
Yeah,
But I want to shout out a couple of people. Nick from WS10. I also want to shout out Chris, who was my 5th game over the weekend with Daughters of Cain. And I want to shout out Lee, who I played on Friday. All of them have done cheat sheets on the realms, which Lee emailed me his one, and he spent ages on it. It's really good. Loads of detail, and he was like, oh, I've just emailed you that. That's not a problem. Fantastic. Just gave me something to read. It was really awesome. Because I didn't get time to do one last week because I was still painting. Nick had printed Nick was just reading them on the tabletop. Chris had printed some out and just gave me like a copy. I was like, there you go, you can read that. So it was just guys all over the tournament that prepared, and then we're sharing that with everyone else in the tournament.
People were prepared.
Yeah, people were prepared, Dave.
Not like us, then.
Not like us. Never like us. Apparently Tio did not know how the mission worked either. That's probably fair. Anyway, yes, that's it. Kill points was the tiebreaker. Some of the units did not count towards the total points value of units destroyed. And if you get the full 2,000 points, if you wipe out the enemy. Question to the Twitch chat. Question to everyone. How do you feel about summoned units not giving you kill points? Because I think, again, bullshit.
Yeah, I think you should. If you have to kill stuff, you should get the points for it.
I agree. Like, if you summon stuff, you're like, if you're there gleefully summoning shit, you're like, I've got this unit for free. And also, it doesn't negatively affect your game. Like, if I beat Nathan, but he kills like 2,500 points of stuff, he should be rewarded for killing more shit. Like, shouldn't there be like some kind of negative for summoning more shit?
You'd have thought so, but maybe there's not.
Huh?
You'd have thought so, but maybe they want to sell more models.
Bruce Hammer says bullshit. Couldn't agree more. I think they should for the mission, but not the tournament. I like the idea that summon units provide kill points. It makes summoning a risk reward play. Thanks, Horror Show Minis. That's actually going to be my number one talking point, I think, when I get my voice back, Nate. Risk versus reward. That might be like kind of the emphasis of the show for me in the future, because people talk about balance. I'll talk about that another day.
Cool.
I give summoning no downsides to Zeminis. Milky Badger, if you kill a unit of skellies and they res them, then you lose the kill points too, don't you? I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point. If you in the real world, if I killed 8 skeletons and then those skeletons came back to life, I've not killed those 8 skeletons. Right. That's a fucking really solid point, Milky Badger. The cost of summoning ability is included in the points cost of the unit, so no. It is not. Twitches of Adelia. That is... couldn't be a wronger statement in my opinion. Nath, would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I think he's trying to be a Troggoth.
Oh, he's being a Troggoth. Oh, a bit of Troggothing in the chat. Right.
He's trying to trigger you.
Okay. Needs to provide kill points. Bank the points, then lose them. It's even bigger kick in the dick. Right.
Should only get in the spell points.
Pete Pratt. The negative for summoning armies is meant to be built into points and internal balance. I just want to say a thing, actually. I was talking to Mr. Colin Cochrane of the Northern Ireland team, and just generally Northern Ireland fame, generally just being awesome, and also being Nathan's exact doppelganger when we went for a night out on Friday. Apparently builders have an outfit that they wear. I don't know if it's in the union, but it's like brown shoes, brown belt, blue jeans, really tight t-shirt because they're fucking decked even though they're like 95 years old, right? They both turned up. They had the same fucking outfit. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Loved it. You guys are amazing. But Colin was telling me that Mr. Pete Pratt, who's currently in the chat, I know that rhymed, is like an integral part of developing the Northern Ireland gaming community. And he doesn't like to go out there, doesn't really put his face out there much. But Colin says, like, if it wasn't for Pete, they wouldn't have such an incredible community over there, which looks really strong. Yeah. You know,
good on Pete,
so I think,
then. Yeah,
I think Pete
job.
deserves loads of love. And if you get the opportunity to talk to him, if you can tweet him, like somehow
stroke him. If
you hear someone talking with a weird accent, then you'd be like, that Pete fella probably helps those guys out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he's in the chat, so I just wanted to bring that out and also just embarrass him because he's probably a lovely gentleman from everything I've heard. All right, so that was the weekend, Nath, basically.
Cool.
Based on people who win and did well, but there was, before we talk about my games, there was loads of other fucking cool shit. Right? There's some good stuff and some bad stuff. Number one, games that I saw. This is the key bit. There were so many great players, so many great armies. I could have not played a game, although I loved all my games, and I could have just sat and watched. I could have just sat and watched games. Like I remember Dan Ford won his game in like 5 minutes on one of the games. He was just like, "Oh, so we're deploying. I've won the game." Yeah, and then the guy who was playing was like, wow, yeah, which I loved.
We finished deployment. Thanks for the game. That was great.
Yeah, and then he just went and watched. Terry Plight playing Darren Watson. Yeah, I would have watched that game all day. Terry's a great player. He's got a great army. Darren's got this crazy list where he just he kills you. He gives you his shit to kill. But like, you charge in Wrathmongers, they make you fight yourself. You kill Blood Warriors, they attack you again. It's a priority roll. He's getting Blood Tithe points. He's summoning shit everywhere. No one knows what's happening. It's all going off in Darren's head. He has 3 hours sleep. He's still pissed.
He doesn't know what's happening.
He doesn't know what's happening. And he slept in my bed pissed one night. Yeah? No one knows. And it's like watching 2 wizards at play, yeah, with just fucking insanity, which is really funny as well, because Darren's so animated and he's so like, his list is so like, wild, and it's 1,000 moving cogs, and he's half cut versus Terry, yeah, like methodical, sensible. Hi, I'm Terry Pike. I played the same army for 9 years, yeah, right. This grey and clean one has 42 layers of green paint, yeah, which I fucking love about Terry. Yeah, he's like on the line, methodical, sensible, always. Yeah, he's not a risk player. Like, and Dan just sat there, and Dan Ford's an amazing player. He's an amazing player. He's smart. He's interesting. Like, he's got loads to say. He was sat there and he just watched. And he came over late. You could see his brain. He was like, he was just telling me about it. He's like, he did this, he did that. They had the best fucking time. A guy I was playing next to played with some eels, and I was playing a Daughters of Cain army. And the eels just one-shotted the Daughters of Cain army. He was playing in like one turn. Salva striked him and he was like, oh no. What's funny was he was about to play Dan Ford, then and he was like, I've lost. Yeah. And then they had the chat, they're like, you've lost. And the guy with the eels was like, I have lost. And then it got swapped over. And then the eels go like, and I'm sorry I don't know your name. We had a talk and I forgot your name and I'm fucking dumb and I'm probably a cunt. So that's fine. Tell me your name and remind me of it. And I'm sorry. But he was just like, I'm glad that happened. But then he watched my game. And he just sat and watched. And that's the point. Anyone ever tells me Warhammer can't be a spectator sport, I just tell you to fuck off right now. Because they were just, Wargamers were just watching Wargamers all weekend. There were so many interesting games that I would watch. Just so many. And to pick a few out, and there were probably more. And if anyone who was there is in the chat now, please tell me what games you would have liked to have seen. But I'd have watched, this was an amazing one. There was Craig Navmar played against Nige. Yeah, with a double Dreadwood.
Oh, Dreadwood versus Dreadwood.
Yeah, so they're both rolling off first. It was like, I turned around next to them, I was like, what are you two doing? They're like, we've had 18 roll-offs before the game's even begun. We don't fucking know. Yeah, and if you guys don't know how Dreadwood works, they roll a dice to see how many pre-game abilities they get. But because they both have it, they both roll off to see who even rolls off to see who gets it. Like, I don't even fucking know how that works. It's a double alpha, no deploying army list against each other with just trees everywhere.
Yeah.
How do you play that game? I'd watched that game 800 times. Still wouldn't understand it. Both of them at one point just stood there staring at the board, not talking. Yeah. I was like, I'm trying to play my game and I was like, that must be amazing. Whatever's happening there is
like
just
communing with the trees.
Yeah. Pete, don't worry. You don't say thanks to me. Everyone should say thank you to you. And then, anyway, just fantastic. So Double Dreadwood. Tell me you don't want to watch a Double Dreadwood game.
Yeah. I'm quite easy. I mean, I'd rather people. I mean, yeah, obviously Warhammer's a spectator sport. People watch anything. They watch that. What's that? Love Island thing. All of that sort of stuff.
Solid, mate. You see, curling. If some people will watch, some people throw a stone and then brush it down a foot, which I still don't understand as a sport. Anyway.
Sliding rocks.
Yeah. Next up a game. Yeah. Nico Warhol. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our Firestorm 4's fucking teammate from 3 years ago. Yeah. Nico versus Dan Ford. That would have been the most specific game of Warhammer you've ever seen played. That's like watching two.
When we played at the Firestorm 4s, they had that matchup. They played each other there.
Did they?
And I went and watched like the end game of that was one of the best. The still like burned into my memory. Those last few moves, I was like, you two. This is awesome.
And the reason I say that is because Dan, when he plays on the tabletop, which I love about him, is incredibly specific, right? Yeah. He's always like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You can or can't do this. Yeah. And I really like that. Like, it's really informative. But follow that up, Nico's exactly the same. Yeah. Right. And it's just watching two super specific. No, I would have loved to watch that game. Next up, Nate. Oh yeah, Mr. Hashtag so hot right now.
Jip.
Mr. Ben Sava. Sorry if you guys just heard that. Nathan has just squeezed his dog. Our manic eel was James. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks. James was the eel player, and we talked quite a few times over the weekend, and he's lovely. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. I do know now.
Just Play podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Better.
Yes, I'll be all over us now.
So Ben Sava played Dick Thompson for the US10. Yeah, so it was two Daughters of Cain Army, and I think they played game 5.
Wow.
So like they were possibly both going to win the tournament at that stage. Like, and I think I spoke to Nick a bit today, and he failed like 3 re-rollable charges. Yeah.
Oh.
And he said it was super tense, but like I remember I did speak. Well, at that point I wasn't really talking. I just went up and went, "How was it?" Yeah, and they both talked to me, and they said like they were like, we both learned so much about our own army.
Yeah.
And we both know so much now, and we learn loads. And that's amazing here. And he's like, and they were both like, it's great playing a Daughters player. It was great playing that mirror matchup because now I've learned so much more about what I should or shouldn't do about myself, and also what people should like. And it sounded like they probably could do a show on their own.
Oh, definitely. I think I'd love to play a mirror match with all of my armies, because I just think that's that's just an awesome way to play.
You just have to find someone else who's dispossessed, Nathan, right?
Yeah. I need another dispossessed player to play against.
Oh.
And another Moon Clan player for my Moon Clans.
Yeah.
And George.
Sorry, Nick's saying it was rolls of 1 on the charges, so they're re-rolling 1s, not re-roll charges. Sorry. It was a long weekend. But that would have been, again, that wasn't on the... I would have watched that game all day long. Yeah? There's a game... I wanted to watch Darren all weekend, because Darren was kind of like just on fire. I also wanted to watch all of Chris Myhill's games and Rick Myhill's games, the fucking Bruces, because Chris had like, what he kept telling everyone was just a list he'd thrown together, but he came like 5th and smashed everyone, with a mixed order army, just hilarious. and battered Dan Bradshaw with his like his Idoneth army, which basically one-shotted every other army he played most of the time. So I would love to have seen all their games. And then obviously Rick was running Beasts of Chaos, which I eventually got to play, which was amazing. But also just seeing Beasts of Chaos on the tabletop, that Herdstone, coolest piece of scenery in the game at the minute, in my opinion.
Cool.
Just looks awesome. But just seeing how Beasts of Chaos did all weekend.
Beasts of Chaos. Nice.
And then now there were loads of other great games I would have liked to have watched. And there are probably some armies I didn't even see. I would like to see the Vanguard army play with the Archeon. That's what I'm trying to get at. There were just so many great games happening that was my takeaway from the weekend.
Cool.
That's all I've got to say.
Nice.
But also, and this is a key part, I really want to talk about this. AD Mac, if you're still in the chat, played Simon Speckles. And I've had a segment suggested to the show. I've had a segment suggested to the show that we should do every week. And it's like, and it should go like this. What's more likely? Right? So this is the segment to the show now. Yeah, this is the segment to show. Segment to the show is, what's more likely?
Yeah.
Games Workshop having a 50% sale for Christmas, or Simon beating AD Mac at Warhammer? That's the segment to the show. Gamble! And also, if Colin's still in the chat, with his daughters Kane, Speckles also gave, fucking hell, Colin a run for his money.
Did he?
On the game as well.
Wow, Speckles was on fire.
So FYI, if you heard that high inflection in Nathan's voice, that should give you everything you need to know about why that's a funny win. Yeah. Speckles, I love you. Velatron. I don't know if you like me or hate me. I don't know if you like or hate me. So he said, hey Rob, did Speckles finish above you in the rankings? And the answer is, yes, he did. He won 4 games. No, he kept saying, I won 4 games, Rob. And I went, you got 3 majors and a minor, Speckles, is what you actually got, you fucking liar. Yeah, right? But that's fine. Speckles did well. And do you know what's great? Speckles is a fucking babe. He got loads of soft scores because he's just a really nice man. Yeah. He's one of the nicest people you can play at Warhammer all day long. Yeah, in fact, he's just a really nice fucking guy. Across the board.
For
really lovely bloke.
Everything he does.
Yeah, Velatron, that's still 4 wins.
Yeah, he's right.
He's right. Yeah. 16th. Did Speckles come 16th? Fucking hell. The world's on fire. Anyway.
He's got skills. Well, you said play one army. Take one army and play it all the time. There you go.
He's been playing it for 2 years.
He's been playing it since he was born, hasn't he? That army.
But Speckles has done loads of practice as well. Loads of practice games. And Speckles, like me, played 9 games this weekend. 3 on the Friday, 6 of the weekend. So, Velatron, I do not have Charter in my army because I was speaking to Oscar and I'm speaking to Jonathan later in the week because I'm going to paint a model and enter it into a painting competition.
Are you? Skills.
Chartor the Executioner.
Yeah. Is he going to be your
He's going to be my demon? One model that's gorgeous. Yeah.
He's got the best job in the world. What, working in a morgue?
He works in the hospital. Right. So another takeaway, there were loads of great games. Yeah. I'm sure you might hear about them in other podcasts. You might hear about them in other shows. Or you might not. But I think what's kind of sad is some of those weren't noted down. It's what I loved about what Adam did for the Bobo coverage, where he walked around and he told us about all the great games that were happening at the time. And I'm sure there were some great matchups that I'm not ever going to get to hear about. It's a bit sad because it was just a wicked weekend. Yeah. And now you're going to hear about all of my matchups. So get ready for me talking about myself for hours.
Yeah.
Make it. So big shout out to everyone who's at the Heat. You made a great weekend. Do you also want to hear another couple of reviews I need to do about it before I talk about my games?
About what?
another couple of reviews. I need to talk about the weekend.
Okay. Yeah.
But I did have it that I talked about my games, and then I talked about those little bits. Or do you want to hear about the whole tournament review first? Your choice.
I don't even understand the question.
There's my games.
Yeah.
For a bit, and then a break of it listening about my games with a tournament review, like on some other elements of the tournament, or a little bit more of the tournament, and then just all my games in one go.
Yeah, let's go with your games in one go after the review.
All right.
Yeah.
So, first and foremost, Games Workshop have had their toilets changed, Nath.
Nice. I didn't know that.
They look really, like the men's toilets specifically.
Yeah.
So, ladies, Mr. Colin Cocaine, thank you. I donated 1,000 bits to the show. I do actually own a pair of brown shoes. And my belt's brown. No, it's black. I'll get a brown belt, and then I can dress the same as you did for next time.
You need to get a proper haircut, though.
You both wanted enough. You both had the same haircut as well. I noticed. It was so funny.
Check it out. You give him some bits, and then he starts just calling
Thanks,
you all sorts
Colin.
of things.
Going short, man. It was so cool hanging out with you this weekend. Can't wait to come over in February. If you ever get to play Warhammer against that gent, you should. He's a babe. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's coming over in a minibus over to Bobo. He's telling us.
I'm going over there to live stream or potentially we are.
Oh,
You want to come to Belfast?
to Belfast. Yeah. I've got family over there.
Do you want to come to Belfast and do the live stream with me?
Oh, I'll see you if I'm free. Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right, perfect. So Valentine's Day.
What? It's on Valentine's
No, it's not
Day.
on Valentine's Day. It's near Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Don't know why I mentioned that. Most might be going on holiday or something. I don't know.
I don't know what you're insinuating.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the toilets of Warhammer World, the men specifically, have had an update. Yeah, and it's all nice and clean and lovely, and it was great, and I really enjoyed it. Apart from,
Yeah.
this is really important. Apart from the fucking new hand dryers. So they used to have some air blades. So you wash your hands, and anyone who's listening to this show and went to the heats and goes, I didn't notice that they had different hand dryers. You fucking tramps, wash your hands after you've been to the toilet. We're all picking up dice. Right, but also, so you went for a little tiddle, yeah? Also, at one point, I was with Richie from Just Play, yeah? And I was also with Tom P from WS10. We were all having a piss. No, I wasn't with Tom P, in fact. I wasn't with Tom P at all, yeah? I was with Chris. Not Chris.
What's
Fucking
going
hell.
on?
Who was I with? No, this is important. Rich. I was with Rich. It was Richie, Rich, and me. Me and Rich had the longest piss ever. Honestly, I remember peeing and being like, this is going on forever. Yeah? And then Chris like, I've been here longer than you have. No, Rich, sorry. Anyway. Right, see, look. Yeah, Robert Extreme. The hair dryers were weak as fuck. Yeah, they were so weak, Nath. You couldn't... I would have dried my hands quicker if I'd have blown on them. Yeah? I was like, washing my hands, it took forever.
I like Jonathan's fact. Air blows, like poo everywhere because people don't wash their hands.
You're welcome. Skip Drive, thank you so much for subscribing for 6 months in a row. Thank you to everyone who does that. It means so much to us.
What a time to subscribe.
He said, came for the Warhammer talk, stayed for the toilet stories. Look, Nick's just said in the chat, I knew you were going to say the hand dryers. You tell me that they weren't, and I know for a fact Andy Dunn, who's the ops site manager for Games Workshop, listens to the show. Andy, if you're listening, I'm sorry, mate, but it's pathetic. That took me, like, honestly, 45 seconds to get it to work. I was like, is this magic? Yeah, I was like, come on.
It's probably like, we've seen you pissing over there. You've got to wait now. After all of that liquid you've deposited down the drain.
Anyway, but Hook and Pin says the ladies' ones is fantastic. So if you are one of our lady listeners, don't worry. But it wasn't a big change. It didn't really massively affect my gaming experience, but it did make me laugh.
It was, you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Time in the loo. Good.
OJ, what a shit time to be joining the show after dinner. Right, so that's that. Second up, Nate, I don't know if you've heard. Yeah? I don't know if you've heard. Bruce Savva, it was quicker to go to the bar and get a napkin. I saw someone at one point, someone had just got one of the toilet rolls out of the toilets, and then everyone was just using that. They were just like old schooling it. They were like, "Oh, I just dry my hands." And they were looking around, and they were like, "There's not a bin in here." And I'm like, "Because then you're not meant to use paper towels." Anyway, we'll leave that part of the show. Next up, I don't know if you've heard, and hashtag so hot right now is Ben Sava, but hashtag so hot right now was everyone on the fucking Saturday. It was 1 million degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The aircon, which apparently on Sunday they worked out how to fix, they did not turn on the Saturday. And it was so warm. Unbelievably warm.
Yeah, we've had a really warm west wind, and then obviously the hall was full of dudes.
Is it important it was from the west?
Well, yeah, that's where the warm air comes from.
All the time? Wait,
Yeah.
but does the Kingsbury shop face the west?
No, but that's where the wind comes from. If the wind comes from the north or the east, it's cold. If it comes from the south or the west, it's warm.
Then how does that... But we're in a building. The wind can't hit the building.
No, but then the whole... Yes, it can hit
Well,
the
I mean,
building.
it can't go in the building. It can't go in the building.
No, but it means that the ambient temperature is warm.
Fucking Christ. It was warm, Nathan.
Yeah,
it was really warm.
Then you cram a load of Warhammer nerds in there. Then it's
Well,
gonna
they
get
didn't.
super hot.
What they did, they also had armies on parade down one end of the room, and in another room they had Warhammer Champions, which is that card game that those 8 people play.
Well, there's more than 8 because my Twitter feed is full of that stuff.
Is it?
Wherever it is.
Size Nathan. I'd watch the weather if Nathan presented it.
Science.
It's a westerly wind. It's pretty warm. But I think it's important that it was supposed to be a grand tourney final, Nath, and they had loads of other events. I remember trying to explain my game to someone, and the TO at the time was shouting over, "All right, everyone!" I was like, I can't hear myself talk. It's because I was talking quiet anyway, but it was hot. It was
a warm day on Saturday.
No, because then it came round to the Sunday, Nathan. Yeah, and they turned
the aircon on.
They turned the aircon on, and I swear to Jesus, yeah, some people nearly quit. Yeah, it was like a fucking gale. Yeah, it was so cold. Yeah, it was so ridiculously cold. It was ungodly cold. Everyone walked in and was like, "What's this?" Right, especially after the day before, it was way too much. Anyway, Nath, you weren't there on the Saturday, were you? Sunday.
I popped in at lunchtime. Yeah.
On the Sunday?
On the Saturday. I didn't come in on the Sunday at all.
That wind was so cold. My first opponent from the Saturday said he almost quit on the Sunday. He was like, "I'm not playing in this. This is unfair." Yeah? Because he dressed. Do you know why? Do you know why, Nath? Because he dressed for the warm because of the fucking Saturday. Yeah? Everyone had dressed for the warm. Everyone was like, "I need to get cold."
Yeah.
Obviously, they simulated the different realms.
The Everwinter had arrived.
Yeah.
Just no Beast Claw players. Beast Claw Raider players.
Oh, yeah. Rob Extreme still wasn't as hot as Blackout, apparently. And also, everyone said they were trying to put out Ben Sava's heat. But you can't, because he's so hot right now.
So hot right now.
So hot right now. Robert Extreme, my mate's dragon literally got blown about by the air conditioning. Hi, Rick. Arilla nailed it.
Rick Arilla.
Yeah.
Nice.
Evening. I still don't like you. That's Rick. That's Rick Myhill.
Oh, okay.
Right. He says he still doesn't like me, which is fine.
Yeah,
and then, lastly, a final review from the tournament,
Yeah.
which we can all get on board with if you went, was the food on the Saturday was like... It was like that really cheap wedding you've been to, where they're like, "It's just a buffet. Help yourself." Yeah? And you're like, "Oh, this is tough." Or, better yet, like a fete at like a school. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was basically 2 chip butties and some salad. So, if anyone's ever been to the heats of Warhammer World, food's really quite good on the Saturday and the Sunday. And the food on the Sunday was great, to be fair. But on the Saturday, now what's really important is when you walk in, you grab a tray and a plate, and then you go along kind of this like bar, and then you pick up, like you get given your food, and then you go put your potatoes and your other stuff. And then in the centre, away from that kind of line, is the salad island. Yeah? And I've never seen anyone at a Warhammer event go to the Salad Island. Never. Yeah? You can go to the end of a Warhammer event on a Saturday, you go to that Salad Island, you know where there's a spoon in all the bits? Still level. Yeah? Because no one's touched it. I have never seen that Salad Island get more attacked in my life. Lads were there just like trying to get extra carbs. They were like, I'll have olives. I've never tried olives. They were there discussing it with each other. One wargamer was like, what's that? And the other guy's like, I think that's a beetroot. He's like, I'll try that. Is it like meat? No, it's nothing like meat. Yeah. Yeah, but the food was pretty bad on the Saturday, is what we're trying to get at. I mean, to be fair though, I grew up pretty poor, so I was fine with it. You know, chip cob's pretty great at the world I'm coming from, so I didn't mind it, but...
There you go.
Just thought I'd bring it up.
So that was the Saturday as well. Malnourished and overheated.
Yeah. Overheated and malnourished. Yeah. That was us. Yeah. But that was my experience of the weekend. So do you want to hear about my game? That's all I've got. Do you want to hear about games?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you'd find them more controversial.
Oh, it sounds like it was a bit of a chamos.
Problem is, nothing phases you.
There's a big hole in my head.
What do you mean? What's happened?
Look, I can see a hole. Oh, it's gone now.
Nothing phases you. So when I come out with these I'm like, Nath, hand dryers don't dry your hands. You're like, I couldn't give a shit about your life, Rob. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah?
They weren't my hands, so there you go. It was a nice story, though. Thank you. I like the bit where you were peeing with that other bloke for a long time.
So long. He peed for so long.
I didn't really like that story.
Because I joined the toilet. You know how there's male cubicle politics? Not cubicle, urinal politics. So hook and pin. I think you might be the only girl here, but if you're not, so right, okay. I'll give you an example, right? So I'm going to hold up. No, the sand's broken. I'll hold up this hand. So look, this is a situation, as you can see. There are 4 urinals. If you listen to the podcast, this doesn't make sense. There are 4 urinals, as you can see on the screen. Yeah? Right? This one where my finger's down, all represented by my fingers. The one where my finger's down is the one that's occupied.
Yeah.
Yeah? You guys all see that? Right. So, now if you pick this finger or my little finger, you're fine. Yeah? If you pick this finger, you're fucking gay. That's a fact. That's just a flat fact. Yeah? There's no arguing with that, but then... Nath, you can do this thing where you can completely fuck with people. Yeah? So, I'll give you an example, right? If this is someone on the urinal, then you take this one, next guy in, he has to pick one of the ones, and then he's gay. Yeah? You can just fuck with people. But what I do is whenever there's someone peeing at the urinal, and all the other urinals are free, I pick the one next to him. Fucking freak him out. Yeah? That's what I do. And I tried to do that to Rich. He was there peeing. Yeah? I tried to walk up, and I stood right next to Rich, started peeing, and then I started talking, and he was laughing at my voice. And then after about 20 minutes, however long I was pissing for, I was like, this is the longest piss of my life. And then he went, I was pissing before you started. I'm still here. And it kept going. It went on forever.
That's a great story. Nice.
Yeah. If anyone else knows about that, never break eye contact. Just pee and stare at someone right in the eyes, Dave, like this. Slow straight in the eyes. Anyway, oh dear. It's like that one guy. It's like that one guy on the bus that sits next to you when there are empty seats. It's like that, only your dick's out. Yeah, imagine everyone on the bus has got their dick out, and then someone sits next to you. Anyway. Would you like to hear about my games?
Yeah, go on then.
Alright. Because you weren't... Did that make that story better?
No, not really.
Fucking Christ.
That's not...
Alright, so I played 3 games on Friday before I got to the tournament, and it was my first game, which was great, because I just went with my army, and loads of people just play games with me. Enough. Can't thank you enough. First one, I played Alex. Yeah? Lovely man. Really nice. And he was the guy that had done all the homework, and he'd done all the prep work with all the sheets, and he'd written it out, and then he emailed it to me.
For the realms.
For the realms. He rang his office just to get it sent emailed to me, so he's an absolute angel. Yeah, really nice man. He played with his mixed order army. He had Marathi.
I like how a few people have left the chat now that you've started talking about your games and stopped talking about peeing and the gents. The show numbers are dropping. There goes another one.
Go on. Piss off.
Anyway, yeah, he played against Alex and he was prepared.
He was prepared. He was prepared, and he had 2 Phoenixes.
Yeah.
Still incredibly undercosted. Marathi, he had Arcanauts. It was a mixed order army. Yeah, he had Arcanauts. He had what else did he have? If I'm honest, I don't remember loads. I remember the game fairly well, but the Arcanauts were pretty telling. He had Skinks. Oh, he had Skinks as well. It was a good list. And definitely Arcanauts are a thing.
Yeah,
Arcanauts are so a thing. Obviously, if you can shoot beyond 6 inches. And really, really good. Really great game, really tight, really close.
Yeah, they're great.
I got super lucky with Geminids. He kind of lined all his units up in a go. They're just Geminids the lot. But I know obviously the stats only affect a unit each, but I still was just doing mortal wounds all through it was like 4 arcane bolts. And then he got the priority, so I got to move them again. Like, he needed to get the priority, but then I got to move the Geminids again, and I just kind of moved him up and down his army, which was great. The Kadai kicked ass. They just fought off a bunch of stuff. Oh no, the Kadai were just like whomping against a 2-up armor, say Phoenix, and doing nothing, whereas the Mammoth was just like smashing a Phoenix to pieces, which was really cool. And then the Fireglaives were doing pretty well as well. So it's pretty good. It was a good game, really close, really interesting. I think play again, probably beat me because you know what my army did. I think his army list was better. He seemed like a really solid player, really fun. We had a great game. It was a really good start to the weekend. It was it set the tone for me. I was like, right, competitive gaming with good people who know what they're doing. They don't piss and moan about dice. Don't piss and moan about anything. We just kind of a great weekend. So it was great. Then I played Oscar Pretorius, not him, Oscar Lyles. Yeah, the best painter in the world. I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
That's not true. One of the best painters in the world with his Stormcast army. His army was great. It was beautiful. He was a wonderful person. We had a great time. He kept casting the endless spell, the Comet, that the Stormcast have, and it triggered the fuck out of me. Now, what's really interesting is I've talked to every... I talked to so many people this weekend who are running order armies. And as you saw from the heats, there are almost no destruction armies, right?
Yeah,
Big shout out to Ian Spink kicking ass with his Bone Splitters once again. Although... he's on an 18-month lose. He's just lost in his 18-month streak. He's killed every Nagash he's ever played in 18 months, but then didn't at the heat.
Oh.
He played one, he didn't kill it. He was gutted. He was genuinely
upset. He was. Yeah. That's a pretty good game, though. He's not stopped killing them for 18 months.
Yeah, it was really good. It wasn't much destruction. I think that's why I talked about that.
So he cast Comet Alert, though.
Oh, yeah, Oscar just cast Comet. But then he cast Comet, and if you guys don't know, you could cast it at 36 inches, so I couldn't dispel it. And then it drops everything within 10 inches, and it's got like a 2-inch base. So really, it's like an effective 22-inch circle. So it's like Lord Croak.
Yeah.
You roll a dice, on a 5 or 6, you take 3 mortal wounds. On a 2 to 4, you take D3 mortal wounds. On a 1 to 2, you take 1 mortal wound. So you're definitely taking a mortal wound on loads of units. And then in his next turn, he dispelled it. No, it went off because it goes off again, but at a shorter radius of 5 inches, like throbs. Great word. And then after it goes off, he dispelled it and then cast it again.
Oh, okay.
And then he just kept doing that. Just kept launching the comet. And and I'm really sorry, but I don't know. I know Chris is in the chat, and Chris did take it because he wanted to borrow some Razordons off me, and then I brought them, but I didn't give them him. He ended up putting Comet in his list because I see every order player. So you can ally in a Knight Incanter who's got an auto dispel and is a wizard. It's pretty useful in every order army. And you can then ally in the Comet spell. I don't know why every order army doesn't do it, in my opinion. I just don't understand it. It's so good. It's such a joke. So over the top. So I'm like, I want your army to move. Fucking Comet. And it's a 6 to cast. It's not that hard.
Wow.
And it's 36 inches, so you can't even dispel it. And then you can cast it at 36 inches, but it still does damage from 10 inches where you cast it from. So actually, it's got an effective 46-inch range.
Yeah, sounds great.
So good. Karma, I don't like play AOS, but things are getting hot, so I came and quick Dark Artisan, Rob, Lucy did that to me and killed half my daughter's Kane army. I hate playing her with that bloody gun. Yeah, it's a good. But yeah, Oscar was really great. Great game. Really enjoyed it. Fireglaves are really good against Stormcast. Also, the Mammoth went on the rampage and just killed everything. Mammoth killed one unit, and then he killed another unit, and then he whomped into like where his ballista was. Also, Oscar couldn't roll dice for shit, and his ballista didn't hit anything ever. Yeah. And then we kept saying like, you need to make the pew pew noises, pew pew, and then he did the pew pew, and then he still failed. So it was really funny. But I got to say that I felt quite privileged to be able to play against Oscar and his army. Like, there's a certain stage where there's some people who I would love to play Warhammer against. Like, I got to play Nick this weekend. I still haven't had a chance to play AD. I get to play you all the time, so I'm great. Because I've got one of my favourite people in the world to play Warhammer against. There's just, I haven't played Pete Humpage. You could literally list. In fact, I want to play everyone who's at the finals this weekend. Every single one of them, dozens of times. I could have stayed there for the next week playing Warhammer. Yeah. The Tuggy, there's so many people I wanted to play games with that I didn't get the opportunity to. It was just,
yes.
But playing against Oscar, obviously, number one, wonderful person. But also his army just looked insane. And it's really funny, at one point, he put his models on the tabletop. And do you ever do that thing where, you know, when you've got your models out on the side or in the kitchen, you're like, that looks great. And you know when you put it where the scenery and on the board, and you're like, oh, I can picture it in my head now, and you're getting that story. When you put Oscar's army on the tabletop, he makes the board look shit. You're like, someone paint a better board. This board's just green, it looks crap. Yeah?
Come and highlight this board. Come and highlight the board. It needs it needs to pop. Cool.
Yeah. But Chris talking about, I think Chris in the chat now says comments good, but 100 points so easily ignored against top tier. I feel. Death Army. It doesn't work against Death Armies, but it hurts Stormcast a ton. I think it's good. That's my opinion. And other people, but I don't know why it's not in every order army. You know, Seraphon are like, yeah. We've got great, we can build great castles and we've got great screens and we've got great defensive lines, but we don't have anything that long range goes and gets stuff anymore. And you're like, fucking drop a comment on them, mate. All day long. I mean, you space lizards. Comment from space. Fucking stick a all hell the blot toad on top of that motherfucker and just drop him down. Just do a giant toad. Just call it a comet. Don't even call it the comet, call it the toad bomb. Be hilarious.
Sounds good.
Anyway, but I got to play Oscar, that was great. And then finally, I got to play Chris Myhill himself. I've never got to play Chris. I'm a big fan of the Bruces. I really like them. And I don't care who knows it. And he had his mixed order army. And I don't think Chris really gave a shit about playing the game, left, right, or centre. But we played. And what was really funny was, deployed, gave him the first turn. He went, all right, fuck you. Yeah. And then he flew over with his Empire Captain on Griffin. Yeah. Straight into the Mammoth, yeah. Because I said to him, I was like, do you know what the Mammoth does? He went, yeah, big monster. I was like, all right, cool, yeah. Went over, and then failed every single attack, which is not Chris's fault, it's just the dice. Yeah, it's a good decision. Would have hurt the Mammoth loads. Then the Mammoth was completely unwounded. Then he did 5 D3 mortal wounds from the tusks and just fucking killed him. And he was like, wouldn't have charged him if I knew that had happened. I was like, well, it wasn't meant to have happened. Your dice should have been better. And then he charged another monster in as well. And then that fucking just got battered.
Or a dragon. Didn't you have a dragon as well?
I can't remember.
Yeah, something else.
I can't remember. But it was funny. We finally got a game. Your mama sucks. And we'll talk about your underpointed look right there. Just say it about. Yeah. And then me and Nick got to play. We'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, I really enjoyed playing Chris. Then I ran over. Chris also was hilarious. He used a command point to keep one dwarf alive. And then I had 30 dwarf. I had 30 bad dwarfs. He had one good dwarf left in the unit. And then I was like, you haven't, and then he charged him in. Yeah? he was like, fuck you. And you know what happened? All 30 dwarves didn't kill him. Yeah? Right? And he was just stood there like, hey! Yeah? It was just wicked. It was just really good. But then the Kanai just went and whomped some stuff. It was cool. But Chris did really well at the tournament. He came like 6th, I think. But really good game. And sometimes I think maybe he plays those games just so he can test what's going on. Do you know what I mean? He's
sly.
Talks like an idiot, but I think he might be a genius. Yeah? Right? I mean that with all disrespect. And but yeah, real good. So I had a great Friday. Wicked. And then you, me, Colin, and an unnamed individual, and then Darren Watson. We went out. Yeah, to the Edgy Club. And you guys did some dancing. I went home because I had a headache. So I got so excited about Warhammer. I had such a good day playing Warhammer. So I gave myself a headache. So I left.
So fragile.
Yeah. OJ says, is Rob is the mammoth keeper or more of a fun choice? I get to that at the end, but the mammoth sucked. Long story short. So Friday was amazing. Then on Saturday, I came in. Obviously, it's tournament time. Let's go. First army. I would say that one of my hardest matchups is Nurgle. It's a lot of minus to hit. A lot of my army really relies on you not being minus to hit. So I'm like, I played against Nurgle, played against Larby with his Nurgle army. It's lovely. Just straight out of the bat, Larby beat me. No, I won the game, but Larby beat me at deployment. We did this kind of chess game of because he had a unit of Plague Monks in a Maggotkin army.
Yeah.
And obviously, and then he had the Glotkin, he had a big unit of 10 Blight Kings, he had 2 units of 30 Plague Bearers, which he just sat on objectives. Straight from the off, he had the Skaven Corruptor as well, the Verminlord Corruptor. And I was just fucking so scared of the Plague Monks, right? Because I was because I couldn't put my 30 dwarves, either of my 2 units of 35 glaives, deep onto the line, because if those Plague Monks went in, it doesn't matter, they got a 4-up slave, safe, and slaves, because they're curse dwarves. They'd have just wiped out the unit. So I was like, oh no. Again, he would have wiped out the Fireborn as well. Could I Fireborn? So I was like, important point to note. Also, there's one other Chaos Dwarf player at the event, Mr. Andy Hughes. He's running 2x12 Kadai Fireborn. Yeah? I know that I probably won't win the tournament. I want to win 3 games. Cool. And now I see Andy, and I definitely want to beat Andy. I want to get more games. I want to get more wins than Andy. And I said to him at the start of the tournament, I was like, Andy, it's on. You versus me. Yeah. No fucking about. Right? So it's really important. So I'll keep track of the Andy and me totals we're going through.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So anyway, but Larby deploys, and he keeps not deploying the Plague Monks. I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, put the Plague Monks down, Larby. Put the Plague Monks down. He just doesn't fucking do it. So then eventually I put out another little unit, So I put a unit of Chaos Dwarves quite deep in my deployment. I'm like, maybe he'll take that bait. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe he won't, because it's only 18 inches apart. He can run and charge because it's obviously Nurgle with the Factory, and he can auto-run 6. I hate that you can auto-run. It should be a reroll in my opinion. And he won't put them down. And I'm like, fuck. Anyway, eventually I have to put the Mammoth down because he's put the Glotkin down because I want the Mammoth to go beat up the Glotkin. And then, right in front of the fucking Glotkin, he puts the Plague Monks, and I was like, he's won the game. It's just it. He's won the game. Because he had less drops than me. Yeah? So he can just choose. So then, and we keep playing, and we keep deploying, and it's done. And I'm like, I've just lost the first game of the tournament. Well, fucking, it's over. Because all he's got to do is go over, womp the Mammoth. I still have to deal with the Plague Monks, which is a fucking bitch. And then I can't go over, the Kadai can't kill everything. And then while I can't kill everything, he's just going to go, the Blight Kings are going to go eat the Chaos Dwarves. There's too many wounds in the Blight Kings for the Chaos Dwarves to deal with, And then he just didn't use a command point to auto-run him. He's put a tree up instead. And then, she went first. He then went short turn, and then he went, I made a mistake there, didn't I? And I went, you did. You should have just charged forward. And then he knew. And then we played the game through, and then, it wasn't over then, because we started to roll some dice, but, we played that kind of chess in that first game, and he beat me, hands down beat me with that chess. And then he just didn't take the opportunity that he took. And I was like, that's really telling. Not anything other than he was like, I just got a bit caught up because it was the first game. And I was excited. And I was like, that's a tough break. Do you know what I mean? But it was really fun. Also, I really enjoyed it. At one point, he cast a Palisade up in his turn. He was like, you're going to unbind that? I was like, that's fine. Because he didn't want 30 Fireglaves, to shoot at his plague bearers. And then in my turn, I just unbound it, and then he went, "Oh yeah, you can do that. Yeah, okay." But so that was really fun. Yes, good. So that was Larby, and he was a treasure. His army was lovely. He's a really nice man. He's from France. He left France because you can't eat any fucking vegetarian food, just cheese and bread. Listen to last week's show if you want to get caught up. I was like, yeah, can't. That's interesting. Next game, I got to play one of my personal hobby heroes. Yeah. Mr. Nick Thompson. So game 2, Nick Thompson with his Daughters of Cain. Yeah.
Nice.
Number 1, great game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 2, great individual. And I was super excited because I was like, I get to play Nick. It's really fun. Also, Daughters of Cain. I also know he's a really great player. Yeah.
Yeah, skillful player.
I know he's a really fair player, so I've got nothing to worry about. Like, I'm just going to play a game. And I was just super hyped. Now, Nick's in the chat, so maybe Nick will be able to give some feedback. But we were doing deploying, and we were like deploying and counter deploying. And I think I won deployment. I think because I'm quite a loud, aggressive player, like, and a person. And I think most people describe me as an obnoxious twat. I think that's the main description. I think, Ken, I'm late. Oh, you're never late, buddy. I'm glad you're here. I think he deployed a little defensive because he put up a unit of not witch elves.
Sisters.
Sisters. He put up the unit sisters. And as soon as he put that unit down, I could, as a screen, I could tell that was defensive.
Yeah.
And then my brain went, he's going to put everything behind the sisters, which he did. Yeah, which made me, as soon as he did that, I went, I'm going to put everything on the line. I'm going to put everything on the line, and I'm going to give him the first turn. And he's deployed a little bit too deep for him to run onto the objectives. And again, and this is really important, I want everyone to remember this phrase. This is from Nathan. Nathan gave me this quote the other day that blew my mind, that all objectives are bait. Objectives are bait. Yeah? And as soon as that happened, because you've got to score, it was shifting objectives, that was the mission. So you've got to score, and you've got to run onto those objectives. Now, he has a unit of heart, he had some heart renders, and eventually that's what he did. But what I did was, I gave Nick the first turn. Now, Nick might be able to correct me and say, actually, I outgamed you from the start and you shit at Warhammer, which is completely fine. But that was my interpretation of the game.
Lured you forward.
Lured me forward. Well, so I gave him the first turn. Yeah. He got up all his buffs, which was fine. And then he put the heart renders on the objectives in the centre and then just moved forward conservatively. Because obviously there's a priority roll coming up next. And he can still move quite far and charge, but the snakes, which he has instead of a big unit of witch elves, can't run and charge. So their maximum charge distance is 20 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah? So you can play quite safely against those. It's a little bit more risky with the witch elves because obviously they move 6, they can run and charge, so they can move 12. So they've got a 24-inch threat range. And then the snakes only have a 20. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So then, so in my first turn, I had to really make a decision. I was like, what am I going to do? And I was like, he put heart renders on the objective, scored all the points. I was like, cool, not a problem. So I was like, I'm going to shoot them off with my fireglaves. Yeah, so I moved one unit forward and I ran another unit, the big unit 30. Then I also ran forward the mammoth because I couldn't charge, and I ran forward Scar because what I wanted to do was I wanted the mammoth to be as far out of my fucking deployment as possible, number one. And I also wanted to, there was a big castle in the middle as well. So a big line of sight thing that we couldn't move around. And then I used the Kadai to create a wall at the top. I've got a picture of it, and I might include it in the show notes. And then priority roll comes. It's quite important, but I think actually Nick charges the Fireborn. I've got the turn and then maybe another turn with the dwarves who are now holding the objectives to shoot into that unit of sisters at the top, so unit of snakes at the top, and the bottom. I've got another unit of 30 that could shoot into them and maybe and do it that way. Does that make sense? And Scar was also there as a little roadblock as well. The mammoth and the Scar with the roadblock. So I was like, maybe that'll work. I'll hold that objective. And then I got the next priority. So now I'm in an amazing position. So I've scored all the objectives, and now I've scored all again. Yeah. So now really I only have to hold Nick off for the next turn, and then I've scored so many points because I'll have scored for 3 turns, maximum points. So he can only score, he can only score for 2. Is that right? Yeah, that's right, because it's 5 turns. Oh no, maybe it would have been dicey,
Well,
right?
yeah. He could have also scored 3 then if he got you in that 3rd turn, because he scored on the 1st turn.
Yeah. But it would have gone to game 5.
Yeah.
But then I made, and I was mad at myself for this, a massive mistake. So I shot 30, and it's just because I don't know. Yeah. So I shot 30 fire glaives, and I didn't. And also, if you guys have been listening to me on the show over the past few weeks, I keep talking about witch elves. I'm like, they don't fly. Or daughters can. I'm like, they don't fly. If you just fucking don't. If you just don't let them get to the objectives, or they have to eat through your army, and they definitely can eat through anything in the game.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but if they just can't move onto the objectives, then you can just win the game, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I shot with the 30 fire glaives, and then I was like, right, 12 Kadai, into that unit snakes. I've just shot. Let's go batter them. Let's go beat them up. Yeah? Kill 5. Like, and to let you know,
out of
like
20, yeah.
I've wiped out like 30 plague bearers like they're nothing. I've wiped out so much with 12 Kadai, 60 attacks, 3s and 4s, no rem but D3 damage. Like, it's just so much fucking damage. But it's that he had a 5-up ignore damage roll.
Did he have the prayer on them?
That re-rolls. Yeah? Right? And I do sound rough. Like, and it was just incredible. I was like, and I knew I'd lost the game then. I was like, if you can't punch, that was a 500-point unit that just did nothing. Like, and I don't think my dice were bad. And I don't think Nick's dice were also incredible.
It's just the buffs that's on them, yeah.
Yeah, and that really started to define my weekend. Because what I learned when I played Larby, which I already knew, is Nurgle is as fast as elves should be, but somehow Daughters of Cain are as survivable as Nurgle should be. And I was like, and me and Nick talked it through, and maybe if I'd have just stayed on that line, and this isn't like I wanted to win that game, I should have won that game. It was more my mistake.
How could you have made a better fist of it?
Or how could I have won? And it would have just been, and me and Nick talked it through, if I'd have maybe just stood on the line, well, like, if I'd have just not charged the Kadai and left them where they were, which would have stopped, because it took Nick 2 combat rounds to eat the Kadai up, which would have been his turn and the next turn, which would have meant that I would have scored, and then if I'd have got the priority roll, scored again, then maybe that would have been game. But it was so counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Like, it was just so, and really is a really interesting conversation for how I then went and played Daughters of Cain 2 or 3 games later. Because you just don't engage with them. You're just like, I'm not going to fight you. You're too silly. You're too broken. I'm just not going to fight you. Like, but it felt super odd. Does that make sense? And like, and Nick was saying, always play the mission. Always play the mission and only score points. But I was like, well, if I reduce your ability to do damage to me and whittle down my units for scoring objectives, that's also a win. I thought if I take out a unit snakes, or I take them down to the point where they're beyond the threshold where in the attrition war they beat the Kadai, Kadai beat them.
Where was the other unit of snakes?
At the bottom of the board, but there was a building kind of like blocking. So it was really interesting because we were kind of fighting 2 games.
Yeah.
One on the bottom of the game, one on the top. Nick saying, I did roll a maze on the first roll, 20 saves, I got 9 on a 5-up. I killed shit in your turn, that's what cost you. But then also, I'd also locked in Marathi, which I was really pleased with, really, because me and Nick had a conversation. He'd left a little gap so he could pile Marathi in. So when I moved my unit, he's like, and that was my fuck up. It was a great little trap by Nick. He removed casualties, so when I piled in, I just got greedy, and then that was 3 inches. It was really well played. It was fucking really cool. And then he was like, did you mean to be within 3? And I went, oh no. And then he went, okay, you can be out. So super good sportsmanship as well. And then I went, no, Nick, sorry. Did you mean for that? He was like, it was meant to be a trap. And I was like, well, I fucking fallen for the trap, didn't I? I didn't mean, are you asking? And I said to him, I was like, are you asking me, did I mean to be shit? No, is the answer. But the result is yes. Yeah. We'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, so yeah, really interesting. But then he used the realm spell, Mirror Pool, because it was a realm of life, to take Marathi locked out of combat, teleport her. Because I was like, actually, I'm happy with Marathi, because I fought Lee the day before Marathi. Marathi can't hurt Kadai ever. She's got great rend. Don't give a shit. She's got 5-ups. Make a few 5-ups. I've won every game ever. Like, if you ever play Andy Hughes, in fact, I'm not going to betray him. Never mind. I'm not telling you. Fuck you all. Right? Go on, Andy. You've got this. It's those twinkle in Nick's eye. That's what's distracted Rob, like a Medusa. It's true. Yeah. But yeah, so but then he used mirror pool to, and this is why I don't like the realms, Nath, because Nick made a decision there. He's like, right, I'm going to lock you in, right? I'm going to lock you in combat. And if you ask Nick, did you want to be in that combat all day long? I'm sure he would have been. But having the ability to then cast a spell and then take Morathi, teleport her out of combat, which doesn't count as a retreat, which is, I mean, I thought we'd taken that. I don't think there are many, because you used to be able to do that at one point with destruction moves. There's been various times in the game where you've been able to do that. And every time it's been FAQ'd that you can't. Does that make sense? You know, like retreat, that always counts as a move. Like we've been through a couple of iterations where there's been something that's made it so you can just fall out of combat and still not be locked in and still move. And that's what he did. Like teleported it out, moved, and fought a unit of dwarves. But the dwarves were quite tough. Morathi didn't do great. So it's still pretty, but it was just the fact that Morathi went from being where she was to anywhere on the board and then could move her 14 inches triggered me. Because I was just like, you're giving a really strong army or a really strong unit the ability to break the game even more. And I was saying, I don't really understand how it's much of a game. Not that mine and Nick's game wasn't a really tight game or really fun. I'm more talking about the grand scheme of gaming. Like Nagash. Like if you I know Nagash can fly. But let's say you got really good. You'd used your movement really well and you locked Nagash in with a bunch of units and he can't really retreat to anywhere. And maybe you cast shackles, you know, a bunch of different stuff. Yeah. You've locked Nagash down and then he just goes, oh yeah, bye. Fuck off. Yeah. Just cast a spell. Like I don't like it personally. And there aren't other examples of being able to do it, right? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, it's just an extra layer of stuff that makes the mechanisms that you normally rely on in your army. It just means that they're not going to work anymore. I mean, like if you had an old route and you thought, well, now I've locked somebody in, let's say, no, you haven't, motherfucker. We're out of here. Yeah. So you know it does.
But like at the end of the day. I don't think that's what cost me the game. I don't really. I think if anyone had done it in the game, I would have been a bit like, I don't like this.
But you both had the same spell.
Yeah, we did both had the same spell, but my army consists of 1 5-wound, 4-up save wizard with 2 combat attacks, which are quite good for a wizard, don't get me wrong, but he isn't Morathi, or Nagash, or Archeon, or a Lariel, or a bunch of other things, right? And it's a fair point. Well then, Rob, you should maybe not play the army. Oh, fuck you. I'm not saying the game should be balanced, but there should at least be some equivocation. Risk versus reward. Yeah? That's what I think.
Enough, yeah.
You know. But so then Nick battered the over a couple of rounds, battered the Kadai, because those snakes were incredible. Rerolls to hit, rerolls to wound. Really funny part. Dan came over, was like, using your skill, are you, Nick? Reroll to hit, reroll. And Nick was laughing the whole time. But they just do so much damage. And then went on the objectives and they lost the game. But it was a really good game. I learned really good lessons. Nick's a wonder to play. Really smart, good gamer, really fun. I was annoyed at myself for making a mistake, but it was a mistake I didn't really know I was making until I'd made it. I thought it was a good decision. I was like, you know, and that's risk versus reward, right? Like my risk was, I'm going in, but I decided that my reward was good. I decided that was a favourable combat for me, and it wasn't. And maybe Nick knew it wasn't a good combat for him. Maybe he's like, and I don't know what does kill. 4-up save, 5-up save, rerollable, 5-up ignores. I don't know what does kill that. Based on tournament results currently, not much. Yeah. But just things just bounce off it, right? Risk versus reward is the only balance in the game, and that spell reduces the risk for certain armies and certain. Does that what I mean?
Yeah.
But the bit that did trigger me, and Nick's not getting away with this. So there's a giant ruin in the middle of the board. Yeah. You know they sold it, Nath. They sold it. They called it the Watchtower Ruin. That's what they used to. That was the name of the piece. It was a giant tower with no roof, and it was all ruins.
Yeah.
You know the one? The Ruin Tower.
Okay, I don't
ruins.
know.
It's really important. I keep saying ruins. He walked up to it with a Medusa, Then he said this, and I haven't heard this in 3.5 years since Warhammer Fantasy Battle, and it triggered me. He went, I'm going to garrison this. And I went, you were fucking are not. Yeah? I was like, what did you just say to me? He went, I'm going to garrison it. I went, in what world? He went, it's a building. I went, it's not a building, it's a ruin. And we had a great row. Yeah? Right? And he's in the chat right now, and he's still claiming it was a building. I've got a picture. I'll put it on Twitter. I'll let everyone decide. Right? And that's it. And I don't know, we'll do some sort of forfeit that me and Nick will agree in the future. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, great game. Great
Cool.
game. I swear he just said he was going to garrison the building just so I'd come and talk about it on the show.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I had no
Look
idea.
at how he is. Oh, Rob, it was so funny. Go on,
So
Nick.
it was a building. I had no idea. I know 30 witch elves don't kill 20 snakes. There you go.
Yeah. 30 witch elves do kill 20 snakes.
Don't. You said they don't.
30 witch elves don't kill 20 snakes.
Yeah.
Fuck no. And they're immune to battle shock. We'll talk about that at the end, but
Yeah.
just
I think the Iron Jaws gave it a good shot, and I think if we'd played one of the monster rules, definitely, then they probably would have all died. But yeah, there's not a lot. You do have to put a lot of effort in to kill them.
what about hard boys with 9 wars?
I think they would. A couple of war chanter buffs, because for some reason the Iron Jaws, everything can stack. So you can stack the war chanter buff and you can stack the wars. So, okay.
I'll have 9 wars. 9 wars with +2 to hit, please.
So yeah, they might, but not a lot will.
Yeah. Anyway, it's right. But Nick's a Gen. WS10 is his crew.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
get a chance to play him, please do. I had a lovely game and really fun. And then my next game was against another WS10 player, Mr. Tom. Yeah, with his Stormcast.
Yeah.
Tom was lovely. Yeah. And I learned something, Nate, about playing the Daughters of Cain. I was like, it's interesting, them Daughters of Cain, because they reroll to hit, and they reroll to wound, and they reroll their saves. Now, that kind of makes them quite reliable and consistent. It's almost like the game designers didn't really think about that ahead of time. Yeah. And then I played some Stormcast, right? And then I played Tom, and Tom was rerolling to fucking hit, and he was rerolling to fucking wound, and he was rerolling his fucking saves. Yeah? And I was like, what is this? Is this the new version of Age of Sigmar now? Where just, you've got a stat, so you, like, basically this is Age of Sigmar 1, they're like, this is your war scroll. Like, oh, that's really nice. It goes 3 to hit, so you get 3 dice, and you roll them twice. 2s to wound, you're like, oh, this is a really good thing, whatever this thing I've made up is. 2s, oh, that's great. Yeah? And then you go, oh, -1, you roll it, cool, this much damage, roll a 1. That's Age of Sigmar 1. Age of Sigmar 2, now it's 3s to hit, cool, and re-roll the misses. 2s to wound, cool, and re-roll the misses. Yeah, -1. Cool. Make a save. All right, you failed that.
I'll reroll that.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
I tell you what, I'm fucking terrified about Age of Sigmar 3. Yeah? I don't know what else we can re-roll. Yeah? I think the next Age of Sigmar 3's war scroll will be like, right, 10 attacks, 2s hit. Yeah? No, not 2s, 10 attacks hit. You won't even need to roll the dice just to save time. Yeah? We'll just tell each other numbers. Yeah? That'll be the next version of the game.
There you go. Dice is for...
Yeah. Hi, Blockhead. Hi, Morgan Sportsmanship. Thanks all for being here. Times on the stream, commentators were like, witch elves are glass cannon, they're going to die on the swing back, and 3 to 4 out of the 20 would die. Anyway. I actually missed the time without points. I thought the 4 pages weren't bad. Some folks just needed rules.
Yeah.
Some folks did. Some folks did. Anyway, played Tom. Tom was lovely. We were playing Duality of Death. Duality of Death is not a mission I expected to come up, Nathan. So that's my fuck up. But I've got the Bull Centaur Torok, the MVP of my list.
Invincible Torok.
The Torok. And I've also got the War Mammoth. So he's a behemoth, so he can go and score me objective points. Not an issue. Right? Me and Tom deployed. He deployed quite defensively again. I was like, cool. Must be a thing. Everyone thinks I'm like a fucking charge all you like, gamer.
Well, you've got a mammoth, isn't it?
Well, exactly. I think maybe it was the mammoth, right?
Yeah.
Like, the old traveller snivelling AOS. And then, so I gave Tom the first turn. Yeah. Tom's army's lovely, by the way, if you ever get a chance to see it. Runs onto the objectives. Yeah. He's got a Lord Arcanum on the right hand side. Yeah. He's also dropped down 2 tutors. Yeah. Toot the piece of scenery I'm around and hurt the Torok a little bit. Then he's also dropped down a unit of, can I say sequitors? And then charged the Torok. And then he's only got 2 wounds left. Then the 2 Toroks battered them because he's fucking unbelievable. And I wouldn't tell anyone that all weekend. I was just like, whatever, he's my general. And then I fight stuff and I'm like, he's really good. Yeah. Anyway, turn around. The mammoth is bait hairylicious. That's correct. Yeah. I turned around and battered those guys. And then Tom's face was like, oh, fucking Mr. Billy Big Bollocks, is he? Yeah. So that was really good. Anyway, but the tutors, like, fucking killed my Demon Smith. Well, nearly killed my Demon Smith. And this guy triggered me. Anyway, then my turn. So he's got a Lord Arcanum on a Griff Charger, right? And then he's got some pretty hard as fuck units around it.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like, that's fine. And a unit of Paladors. I want to point this out. Tom's rocking, like, 10 Sequitors, like, all those words that people don't like hearing about Stormcast at the minute. I'm making a proud statement. I've not read the Stormcast Battle Tome, and I never will.
The evocateurs and all of that.
Whatever.
Yeah,
never. This is it. I've decided. The Honest Wargamer will never read any Stormcast Battle Tomes ever.
Oh, really?
Not one.
And there goes another viewer.
I don't give a shit. I'm never going to read it. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But he had Paladors, and if Elatron's still listening, yeah, the Paladors were fantastic. And I didn't want to say because he said these are really good, Rob, and I went, they're Paladors, Tom. They're not very good. And he went, they're really good.
Well, they are good.
I went, shut up, Tom. He went, you shut up, Rob. And they were really good. Right? My first turn, basically this is it. This is the game. My first turn, I charged forward with the mammoth. I was like, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to batter the Lord Arcanum on the Griff Charger with the mammoth. He's 320 points of fucking raw power. He's going to punch him to death, claim that objective. I'm going to charge all the Fireborn in, hold him up for a couple of turns. The Torok on the left-hand side is going to go, because I deployed that way. That was my plan the whole time. Yeah, I had all my shooters on the left. Their job was to kill all the heroes on the left because they're like mortal wound on the shooting.
Yeah.
Right? Shoot him off the objective, run the fucking bull centaur on it. I'm the winner, or winner, chicken dinner. Fucking mammoth goes in, does dick all, like an idiot, doesn't kill. He's got 7 or 8 wounds, whatever this guy's got, and he wouldn't kill him. I did like, didn't kill him. Didn't kill him, basically. I didn't kill him, basically, is a long story short. Yeah. And then Tom was chuckling, right? And then Tom's there for the next 4 turns, having the best game of his life, right? As he's like, Rob, all these guys, they're re-rolling, yeah? To hit, they're re-rolling to wounds. He's dead, yeah? Oh, Tom, I'm shooting these guys. He's like, don't worry, I re-roll all my saves, yeah? I'm re-rolling to hit, I'm re-rolling to wound. He's this, that. But the Paladors did 11 damage to the mammoth. So I charged the Paladors so I could get to the Arcanum because I had 3 inch reach, which was great. Didn't kill him, which was bad. Then the Paladors attacked, and
Just
I
turned around and
was like, this will be fine. They did 11 damage to him, and I was like, what the hell is going on?
How many Paladors were there?
3!
Cool.
3 of them! Hi, Ruskies. But anyway, they were really good, and Tom smashed it, and it was great. And we just had a good game where because at this point, you already know you can't win the tournament, right? Because you lost a game. So, like, we were playing to win, but we were just having a great time. And Tom's a treasure if you get to play him. We had a lovely time. Rolled a ton of dice. Triggered me all the rerolls. He was just like, reroll this. And he kept shouting. I was like, because my Chaos Dwarves, Nath, if I don't move, I can reroll 1 to hit. Yeah. He's just like, I'm just going to decide to reroll my saves. I was like, well, you got to roll. He's like, I'm not rolling. Just choose, reroll saves. I was like, what the shit? Get out of here. Grubby has subscribed for 3 months in a row. He says it's worth it and I would do it again. Thanks, Grubby.
Oh.
So that was my Saturday.
There you go. Saturday night.
Saturday night. And then I went to work that night. It's quite busy, if anyone cares. Played loads of rock and roll. Had a good time.
Sweet.
Really fun. Everyone looked like they had a great time. And then Darren Watson got drunk and slept in my bed.
Lucky you.
I wasn't in it.
Sure.
I said the girls' bed instead. Screw you, Darren Watson. Anyway. And then day 2, woke up in the morning and I played Rich, and now it's freezing. By the way, I've sweated through every one of these games I played. Sweated my balls off. Yeah? Someone, just a random passerby, brought me a glass of water. Like, I saw you sweating from over the road. Yeah, I was like, that's so nice of you. I thought I was going to die. Yeah? Right, then day 2, I played my first game, Sunday. I played Rich. He's a gent, the Legion of Blood.
Oh, cool. Legion of Blood.
Legion of Blood. He had 2 vampires. He had Blood Knights. What was it? And some dogs. This is his battle line. And then Rich is a lovely guy and really smart. We got talking after. We're having a great time. I think he thinks he's more of a narrative gamer. So he kind of he kicked his own ass at the start. He was like, he just said this. He said, I'm just going to take all my dragons and just charge her. And I went, oh, I haven't played some before. I was like, oh, are you tricking me? You being a tricker? Then he just then did that. Yeah. And then all my 5 games just murdered him in a turn. And I was like, okay. But I think Rich, and it was knife to the heart. And it was really tough for me to get over there. But I think Rich could have won that game, maybe. Or maybe Rich knows his army better than me and I'm wrong. But he was kicking his own ass because but he was really great and really funny. And then after the dragons had died, I charged the mammoth up the board. Because his dragon went into the mammoth and did no damage.
Oh.
0. Missed every damage.
Wow.
Yeah.
So his dice weren't particularly great then.
Shit, awful.
He needed those rerolls that the other guys had.
Yeah, that's the problem. He hasn't got the reroll battle tome yet. So he went and killed that, and then the Fireglaves. Oh, Andreas Kentrop, thanks for subscribing on YouTube if you're watching. So then he jumped. But anyway, he was really great. I really enjoyed playing him. He's a really nice man.
Cool.
He kicks animals for a living. I just want everyone to know that.
Nice.
He'll understand what that means, but just watch out for him.
Good.
Kicks animals. But after it killed the Vampire Lords, I then went over and killed a couple of units of Blood Knights. But there's 1 unit of Blood Knights left, and I charged a mammoth into it, not killed him. And then they were kind of having, because their Blood Knights are way better on the charge, so then he charged some dogs in. But the mammoth was almost dead, and we were having this kind of he had rubber lances because they weren't doing D3 damage, and then the mammoth was just missing. And then we'd got super narrative, because he's been to Raw, the narrative event.
Cool, yeah.
So then we went super narrative. It was really funny. We spent 35 minutes telling stories, and he was just the vampire lords are dead, but these guys are vampires, so now he's the general. And I was like, they love killing monsters, but and then because the mammoth was nearly dead, I was like, the mammoth's going to run away, because he fucking because he's been hurt so badly, so he's going to retreat to go heal up. And then Rich charged, and then killed him, right? And he was like, yes, because he decided that was his mission to kill the mammoth. And then we rolled off to see who won the dice roll. I won the dice roll, which meant I got to pick a point, and then I did 5 mortal wounds to his vampire, and that was what killed the army, And he was just there this has been great. We've had a great time, And I was like, Rich,
I killed the mammoth, and it fell on me.
Yeah, and I was like, Rich, why were you here? What is your plan? And he was just, honestly, I would play narrative Warhammer with that. I play competitive Warhammer with that guy all day long as well. He just turned it into an adventure instead of just and that was what confused me. Because he was like, I'm just going to lose the game. And I was like, okay. But you could try to win it if you want to. Yeah. And then he was like, I like playing armies that smash forward. So I was like, we were talking about that. But he's a really smart guy, and I think he could definitely do it. I got total faith in him, and I had a ball with him at the end. So I really want him to enter those games feeling like he could go all the distance, because that's the point of me talking about it. Because I think he could. I think he needs someone. I don't know. Hopefully, if he listens to me and thinks, "Shut up, Rob, you're a dick," I'm like, that's fine. But if he listens to me and goes, "Actually, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to fucking try next time," I think that would be amazing. Because anyway, I really enjoyed that game. Start of my Sunday, and me and him are role playing this fuck, and I'm like, this is great. Let's tell stories. We had a wonderful time. you should have used the command ability to get to another board edge. I didn't even read the realm rules at this point because I think it was shit. Yeah.
Hey, you could teleport to another board edge and then move.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't because it's rubbish. Plus, the kid I went over there because I put a unit in my army that could do it. That's what I did. I relied on list building. Old Shrimp Pie? What's old Shrimp Pie doing? She's donated $658. No, $6.58. Well done for keeping with it. It sounds like actually £6.58 might buy me some Strepsils. So I really appreciate that. Who did that? Old Shrimp Pies.
Oh, nice.
Oh, thank you, Old Shrimp Pies. It's a nice donation, and that's very nice of you. Right, let's wrap that.
Cool.
Anyway.
So that was first game Sunday.
And he's great.
Against
if you get the chance to play Rich, play him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Shut up, Unicorn John. I'm not reading that out. Then, game 5, I played a guy called Chris. Yeah? With the Daughters of Cain, best Daughters of Cain army before the book. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Chris, by the way, is a dry motherfucker. Yeah? He's hilarious, but he's like that dry humour hilarious.
Okay.
Seeing as I'm your friend, I'm used to that.
Fair enough.
He had a great time. I really liked him. He had a Daughters of Cain army, right? We deployed, and again, he deployed defensively. I don't know what it is. Is it me, or is it the mammoth? Maybe it's the mammoth. I don't know. He just deployed defensively.
Is it me, or is it the mammoth?
Is it me, or is it the mammoth? Yeah? And he sat on 2 objectives. So it's the burn all the objectives one.
Okay,
yeah? Total commitment. And he sat on 3, and he's got the cauldron, a unit of witch elves, and a unit of snake ladies. In the centre, he's got Marathi there as well. And he's got a unit on the far right-hand side of only 1 unit of 10 of Sister Slaughter, or witch elves, one of the 2. I think it was it might have been Sisters, actually, witch elves, actually. And the far left-hand side. Thanks for joining the knee-stabbing gang, the propagation. Nathan, do a cheer. I can't do a cheer.
Woohoo!
Thanks, propagation.
Nice one, yeah.
Hook and pin, I did not find my dick dice. And then someone also stole my last dick dice. My last dick was stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so what happened was, so then because he deployed defensively, and he's got the heart renders. This is my point. Daughters of Cain are great because of the heart renders. I've already made this point. And my voice hurts. It's fine, we'll talk about it later.
Well, they can just drop out the sky whenever they want.
And just win games.
The gold.
And just win games.
Take the gold.
Yeah, take the gold. Take the gold, win the game.
And even if they're not out, if they're on the board, they still move so fast.
Take the board. At Old Swim Shot. What's happening? 19 people left. Welcome info. Yeah, buddy. Anyway, so he had Daughters of Cain. So that's Andy Amarathi, and he had the tower, he had the cauldron.
Yeah.
That was in the middle, right? And then, so, my deployment, I'd put all my fast units, the mammoth and the fireborn, in the middle. Yeah? I was like, cool. And then, what happened was, I gave him the first turn, and then he went, ooh. And then he just moved forward a little bit. So I was going to move forward a little bit. You know, it's just enough that if he got the next turn, he probably could run and charge. Because my plan was, give him the first turn, and then retreat. Yeah? And then he moved forward a little bit, which he did. So then I just backed up the dwarfs. Yeah? Because I was like, fuck you, Heartrenders. You're not going to outnumber these dwarfs. They're tough as shit. Yeah? Plus they'll beat the Heartrenders up in a fight. So I was like, that's fine.
John, happy birthday.
John has just donated 500 bits because he texted me earlier and said he fancied me. And I just want to say thank you, John. No, it's my birthday tomorrow, so he's donated 500 bits, which is really nice of him because John doesn't need to do any more for me ever. Like, he does all the design work for the show. He's just a lovely man. If you ever have a chance to play John at Warhammer, book out a whole afternoon. He's incredibly slow, but you'll have a great day. And he's a really nice man. Thank you, John. That's really nice of you. Anyway. So what I did was I took the mammoth and I ran it to the right, and I took the fireborn and I ran it all the way to the left, and I was like, you can't charge him with the witch elves even if you get the turn. You can't charge these guys with snakes even if you get the turn. because I wanted to bait Marathi out, right? And then he went, all right. And then we rolled off priority, and then he won the priority on a draw. And I was like, oh, okay. No, not a drama. I was like, oh, okay, all right, fine. I'm still in a good position because he can't get me. That's what I want. And I'm going to go over to the right and go burn that objective on the right with the mammoth, which is fine. And I'm still holding my objectives. And then or I'm going to go hold it with the mammoth, and he has to go come fight the mammoth, and then so he's not charging in the middle, and then my objective all on the far right was completely safe. And then what was really cool was he was like, okay, I've won the priority. He had, and then he went, you have the turn. And then I went, okay. And then I looked at the board, and I was like, well, I can just charge your left objective. I can charge your right objective. I can burn all the objectives, and I can just win the game. And he went, like he gave me the turn. He said, you have it. I went, cool. And I went, this is what I can do. Yeah. And I was like, so would you like to change your mind? And he went, yes, I would like to change my mind. So then he changed his mind. And then Marathi came over, fought the Kadai. The mammoths were still safe. He ran forward really fast. And then I spent a good 20 minutes, much longer than I should have really had. But we had done those first two turns really quick, so we haven't rolled any dice.
Yeah.
Marathi didn't kill the Kadai, obviously. Killed 2 or something, maybe 3. But it wasn't a big deal. And I just decided, I moved everything around, because basically I just didn't want him to burn the objectives. Because I thought I could hold him off for another turn. I thought if I hold him off for the other turn, I can burn all the objectives, I'll be fine. Mammoth obviously was going to go kill those 10 witch elves. So we did that. But then, and then it was just a roll off. And then I won the roll off in that next turn. I went off and burned that objective. I went off and burnt that objective because I'd retreated away from Marathi.
Yeah.
So I just won the game based on that. That was it. Right. But what was really cool was his sisters, his witch elves, Nath, his snakes, his cauldron, didn't even roll a dice. We didn't even play. I didn't even play the game. Like none of that. I mean, they killed Scar, but he's meant to die. That was his job. Yeah. But so that's what I learned against playing against Nick. Don't fight any of his army. Just fuck that off. Just go score points. Just ignore them. I mean, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Just ignoring them.
It's quite hard when they're quite mobile. But if they're stuck on an objective, then yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, it was great. So we just did that. And then my final game was against Mr. And also, he's a gent, Chris, if you get a chance to play him. It's really funny. I thought he was hilarious. We had a great time. Then, my final game, I was over the moon. Me and Rick had talked all weekend about being able to play each other. Played Rick. This is Mr. Rick Meyer, and he had a Beast of Chaos army. He had 2 chimeras, 2 cockatrices, which don't have the monster keyword. So, to quote Rick, I can have fucking 20. Well, not quite 20, they're 100 points, but, he had 2 units of Dragon Ogres. He had Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. He had a couple of wizards. He had Doom Ball. And then he had 6 Skyfires, which still fucking trigger me. They still trigger me, even at 200 points. They still trigger me.
Yeah.
Rick was wonderful. What was really cool is Rick had thought about if he played me that weekend.
Yeah.
He said he'd been away thinking about it. Because I think Rick's really smart. I think Rick and Chris are brilliant at Warhammer. Like their brains are just tuned into it all the time. They're just churning it over in their head. And he was saying that he doesn't think he can ever win that game, like 10 times out of 10, pretty much, because I've got too many wounds in my army. And his army's designed to kill elite armies, realistically.
Okay.
Because he's got like 2d6 mortal wounds shooting coming out of the Chimera. He's got 2d6 mortal wounds shooting coming out of the cockatrices. He's got mortal wounds shooting coming out of the Skyfires, as well as obviously their combat potential. He's got great spells from the Beast of Chaos. He's got the Herd Stone. He can reduce. So he's got weight of dice attacks on the Dragon Ogres, and he's got the Herd Stone plus a -1 Wren spell or +1 Wren spell. So really, what he's done with Dragon Ogres has been really clever. He's taken the most attacks he can take, and then instead of picking high rend weapons, he's just going to use his allegiance ability and the ability to just make units not have good armor, which is really cool. And I really like that. But what was really cool about it is the entire game wasn't really like a game. It was like it was almost like a theory craft game, right? Like where I don't know who was like he was talking to me about you should do this, you should do that. I was saying maybe I should do this, I should do that. We were more playing a game of like, how do these armies play? How do things work? How do these units work? What does this do? What does that do? I was pretty committed to charging. I wanted to split charge because I'm a high risk player, right? So I wanted to split the combat output from my Mammoth when he charged a 2 Chimera, because the priority roll for turn two basically decided the game. Probably took a picture of it, and we've said we're going to re-rack another time, and then just try and put all the models in basically the same place and try again. But because it was really really tight, and he was playing to win, I was playing to win. I got that turn, which meant the Mammoth went off and charged a Chimera, the Dragon, but then the Kadai basically just went centre of the board, right onto his herdstone, just fought his herdstone, and then just surrounded it and then scored me 4 points. But it came down so close. He had a Chimera that he'd summoned at the end of the game. Mammoth was dead. The Chimera and another Chimera that was completely alive could have charged my 30 dwarves that were on the block. The Dragon Ogres and the Shaggoth had been fighting 30 dwarfs on the objective for like 4 turns because he just missed with everything with the Shaggoth. And it was just super close. Super close. He rolled incredibly well with the Skyfire's shooting and combat, and I rolled incredible saves, and then I rolled 2 rounds of terrible shooting, so all the dice kind of balanced out. It was just really fun. I'm really aware I was talking a lot there.
Oh.
But
Which Grey Frey did he?
He didn't pick one.
Oh, didn't have one.
Didn't pick one.
Oh.
But it really showed to me the power of the Beast of Chaos book. Like, I think it's going to be a very, very strong book. It's got lots of options. It's also so fast, and it's got the same thing that obviously you're getting from the corn list that we've seen at the weekend. You guys are so cute. Thank you. Stop. It does that thing where it either summons units or so obviously the Daughters of Cain list. Sorry, this isn't making much sense. Daughters of Cain list. What it does is it drops units onto objectives with the Heartrenders.
Yeah.
The Corn list summons a unit of 20 Bloodletters and then charges in onto objectives or uses Scar. Seraphon, same thing, summons a unit onto those objectives. And the Beast of Chaos, same thing. Popping a Chimera up in my backfield on turn 3. That's crazy. That's crazy. Knowing that you've got to not defend against 5 Ungor or 10 Ungor or 5 a Nurgling block or whatever you might have to defend against, but you've got to defend against a Chimera on the 3rd turn. Crazy. I think it's going to be a really good book.
Yeah. I do think so.
Also, I've always wanted to play Rick. I got to play him. He basically looks like my dad, or my older dad. Looks like you, but also like me. He's like just that outfit. He's got that great look. But yeah, we had a great time.
Cool.
I had an amazing weekend. Oh, I didn't even tell you what happened. Game 1, I won my game. Andy Hughes won his game. Game 2, I lost my game. Andy Hughes lost his game. Game 3, I won my game. Andy Hughes lost his game. Yeah. Day 2, I win my game. Andy Hughes wins his game. I win my game. Andy Hughes wins his game. Last turn, he's playing Dan Ford. Yeah. I'm playing Rick. I'm like, one of us is going to lose this. I might lose to Rick. He might lose to Dan. And then we both win our bloody game. So Chaos Dwarves go 4 wins, 2 losses over the weekend, which is amazing. But then we're coming to results and I'm over the moon because Andy, like a dick, has been running 2 units of 12 Kadai. Yeah. Which are basically just trigger everyone. They're unbelievably good. And I was like, I've got a Mammoth. Yeah. I've got an ugly dude and I've got a podcast. I'm going to be dripping in sports votes, fuckers. I'm like this. I'm like dancing. I'm like, Andy, what are you doing? I'm the best Chaos Dwarf player in the world. And he's like, no, you're not. You're shit. Right? He's like, and Andy knew. Andy's like, oh no, I'm not going to get any fucking favourite game votes with Chaos Dwarfs, am I? And I was like, you're not with Kadai.
With Army of Kadais, yeah.
With Army of Kadai, you're not getting them, are you, Andy? And he was like, no, I'm not. Then the results come out, Neve. He's only gone and got 3 favourite game votes and a best army vote. Like a twat. Yeah, so he's placed higher than me. But thankfully, we'd made a gentleman's agreement at the start of the day that soft scores didn't count.
Oh, yeah.
Because, to quote Darren Watson, who got 4 favourite game votes, soft scores are for wankers. Now...
Fair enough. He should know. He should know. Cool, so did it go down to kill points, or did you just decide it was a draw?
Well, obviously it was a draw. 4 and 2. It's only based on wins.
Strength of schedule? Did you not go back through and decide?
No, it works for... You're not in the Chaos Dwarf WhatsApp group, so you're not allowed to know. But me and Andy came to a gentleman's agreement. What's really funny, though, so me and Andy actually... me and Andy are going to do a show this week. He's agreed to.
Yeah.
And again, I know I've talked a lot, but maybe this is true for you, because you're a big Destruction fan and people love that. And also you've taken Dispossessed to tourneys as well, as have Jonathan, and you kind of egg each other on from across the seas, right?
Yeah.
Me and Andy are going to do a whole show about this. So I had a great weekend, and I loved all the people I played. It was really fun. They were all awesome. And all those things I talked about earlier, all the people I talked to, and everyone said hi. I got a fucking dice cut, which was amazing.
Yeah.
But it was just generally just a wonderful weekend of Warhammer. And my brain was exploding with ideas for like other people's armies, my armies. Obviously don't forget Flukesy in my WhatsApp group as well. It's me, Andy, and Flukesy, the 3 Chaos 12 players in the land.
That's it.
It's it. But honestly, the chat's been on fire today. Earlier on, there was 27 messages in there. I was like, what are we doing, lads? Let's go. Don't worry, Brucey. I'm going to add you to that WhatsApp. Don't worry. But what was amazing about that weekend, and I talked to Andy today, he said it kind of made the weekend for him, was having a teammate, because we're in the same faction.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So we were just like, because we were egging each other on, and people would come up to me and Andy would be talking, and someone would come up and go, oh, those fucking Kadai. And then we'd both look at each other and be like, yeah, baby. Yeah. And we were like talking about army lists, and we were talking about changing spells, and I know obviously they're already, Robbie's hashtag so dead right now. Yeah, I'm struggling a bit. But what was amazing was having that team environment. And have you had that at tournaments before? Where you have played the same faction as someone. Now, obviously it works for clubs.
Yeah.
I see that all the WS10 boys, or the Marauders, or any of those guys, when they're all teaming up, they're all they go talk to each other. It's really cool. But what was really fun is we were in competition, friendly rivalry, but at the same time, we really wanted each other to do well from the same team.
Yeah, I guess sometimes you have that with the Destruction players. So at Raw, it's promoted as well quite a bit, because you separate into your different factions. Mm-hmm. So all the Destruction guys get together. You have to pick a war cry and stuff like that and stuff. So yeah, that does promote that a bit as well.
So what I think what the culmination of that is going to be is what me and Andy are going to do. I don't know how this is going to make sense yet, and maybe it won't really pan out. But me and Andy are going to do a show where we're going to talk about Chaos Dwarves and how amazing they are together. Obviously, the best dwarfs in the land.
Not a chance.
Yeah, right. And what we're gonna do at the end of that show, I think, is we're going to propose setting up a WhatsApp group for every faction. Now I know they already exist. But the purpose of those WhatsApp groups are meant to be international, number one, but also, most importantly, they're only meant to be to encourage people at events, right? So, let's take an army that we like, Moonclan Grots. Yeah, so there's one from Moonclan Grots. So yeah, you can be mixed destruction or whatever, but you're in that Honest Wargamer WhatsApp group for Moonclan Grots. The whole idea is that if someone, let's say I was taking Moonclan Grots to an event, everyone will be like, good luck at that event, see you later. Just keep in check. Just be like, lads, I'm at a tournament today with Moonclan Grots. Don't worry, we've emotionally got you back. And then if you're at a tournament with someone, maybe you go to a tournament on your own, and you don't really have any buds. Do you know what buds you definitely do have? All the other guys from the Sylvaneth chat, because you're in the Sylvaneth team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that kind of be cool? Because me and Andy really loved it.
You guys are so gay.
Oh God, come on.
No, it sounds cool. I'm in.
Rick's just saying about our game. It was a good game, Beardo fella. But it was always going to be your games. AOS 2 is a numbers game. When you had the numbers, awesome game. Even if you just squeaked all the way through, I squeaked all the way. I did. Although Rick was like, "Come on, charge me!" And all of a sudden, my voice like deepened for a second. I went from like, "All right, Rick," to "All right, Rick."
All right, Rick.
Like my balls dropped. Like as I was saying. Look at that. But wouldn't that be cool? Having a little. Tell me that wouldn't be fun. Like going to the event and because this is my other thought as well. So you go to a 5-game tournament, yeah, and more than likely, if you lose any of your games, right, you're losing. You're not podiuming, or you're probably not going to win the tournament.
Yeah.
Like, and if you lose 2, you're definitely not, right? And it's definitely you should join a gaming club if you want to feel like you're never alone. But what's really fun is like, because I spoke to Dan Ford this weekend. And obviously, we've talked about on the stat show how Dan Ford's like single-handedly keeping the Khorne faction higher in the stat percentages than he should be, right?
Yeah.
And then this weekend, by the way, that was another thing. He was playing his murder host versus another murder host, and he lost. Tell me you don't want to watch that game.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Right?
I bet he was great to chat to after that, because he would really be analysing that to little bits and pieces. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and like Rick's saying, it gives you another game inside the game plus more mates.
Yeah.
So it's like the whole idea is like, so you've lost a couple of games, Nath, yeah, but then there's the other dispossessed guy, and he's won 3 games, and you're like, right, who are you playing? Just fucking walk away. Be like, okay, I'm playing Rob, and he's playing Chaos Dwarfs. Walk away, just like, nice to meet you, Rob. Back in a minute. Just huddle up with the dispossessed players. What do we know? What do we know? What's the plan? Yeah, you just need to feed that guy info. Yeah, help him out.
They're not a real army. You can have it.
What?
They're not a real army. You've got it.
don't attack the man. Shit. Anyway, me and Andy are going to talk about that, but just to give you a spice of what that's going to be in the future, because it was so much fun having that little, and I'm sure that probably already works if you're part of a club, right?
Yeah.
You go off and talk to your club mates, but then your club mate's playing his own game with his own army. Like, but when you're the Sylvaneth guy talking to the Sylvaneth guy, it's like, did you pop up some woods? I fucking popped up some woods. You're like, oh, sweet. How many woods you pop up? Like, 3 woods. Like, that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah. Daughters of Canaan people can walk up and be like, hey, did you re-roll all your dice? Like, I did. I re-rolled them all. Yeah. The daughter of Canaan goes, good, keep re-rolling them. It's so much fun. You take any power shot tests? Like, not yet. Not yet.
Never. I just kept re-rolling until the lights went out in his eyes.
All the Stormcast players were like,
and then he couldn't talk anymore.
Yeah. Oh dear. Anyway.
Yeah.
I had a great event. But this is something, final note. It was a tournament again where soft scores came into play in good and bad ways. Yeah, so there were some positives from the soft scores in the really great people. Like, I don't think I'm bad to play at Warhammer. I had a really great weekend. I didn't get loads, but I'm not bothered. All the people I played were lovely, and I had a wonderful time. And if they had better games, fucking more power to them. Yeah, like that's great because I know that every game I had, at least from my side and at least from what they seem to be having, I didn't have no one even cared, win or lose. Like, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And if they did, like, they didn't show at the tabletop. But then that meant that they went off and at least had a better game somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. And I'm dead chuffed for that. So anyway, that was obviously but it did come into play in a positive way in that really great people went a little bit higher. Like Speckles got to come 13th at the GT Finals. Like I'm chuffed for him. Like, I'm so chuffed for him. You know, he was on a 3 majors and a minor, plus all those soft scores, pushed him all the way to 13.
Yeah, and he's got a lovely army as well. But he got some favourite game votes. He must have shown.
Yeah.
Favourite
army votes. He got like
votes,
4 favourite game votes and 3 favourite army votes. He's a treasure to play Warhammer against. I'm not getting me wrong. But I'm also dead chuffed for him because it's a really good placing for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, and he's got to be over the moon, and I'm happy for him. Also negatives in that some people were going around and asking people to give them votes to increase their ranking. And I don't think that should be something that comes into effect in any way, shape or form. Yeah? Or like, trading. You give me yours, I'll give you mine. Yeah. Again, I don't think you should vote for who is your favourite game. Right? Hard though, because it takes a certain amount of integrity to always stick within that system. And truth be told, and then some people are going to not agree with me. And then maybe, I don't know if I even agree with myself right now. I really like sports votes. Painting, I don't give a shit about. Fucking painting can fuck off, in my opinion. Although, all my games are great. So what I did is I would have given 6 favourite game votes out. Yeah? LLV, thank you for donating $40 to the show. It's your birthday. Thank you very much. He also sent me the endless spells from Beast of Chaos.
Yeah. We're going to have a flaming bull running around. I can see this.
Yeah, so you're a lovely, lovely man. That's very nice of you. Thank you. I shall use that to buy my buffy dinner. That's very lovely of you. Lucas Maximus, thanks for joining the Knee Stabbing Gang as well for 2 months. Click the link. I can't click the link because it doesn't come up. I can't click it. It didn't come up. I need to fix that. I'll fix it in the future. I'll click it later, I promise. Sorry, my voice is going. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Yeah, so I like sports votes. Painting can fuck off. I like sports votes. I like that you vote for 2 people. I like it because it means everyone plays a little bit nicer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they do anyway, or it's always on their mind. They put it in the chat. There we go. Oh no. What's this link? It's my birthday clip. Okay. I'm going to watch that later. But I don't like that it can be abused. And also, ultimately, as much as a treasure... can we think of any aggressive sports people? Like, I don't know if Ronnie O'Sullivan is a treasure or not, but I know he's fucking great at playing snooker. I don't know if Tiger Woods plays golf fairly or doesn't play golf fairly, but I know he's great at playing golf. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that there's a spirit of the game which I massively agree with, but having an impact on how good you are at playing the game, I'm like 60-40 split. I feel like I want everyone to be better at games, and that's the only important thing when it comes to the results. I feel really, it sounds like I'm really sad now. I'm not sad, my voice isn't working, I'm sorry. I just think that it's not a fair testament, especially when you've got people like Nick who are in the chat, yeah, who didn't get a lot of soft scores, like a lot of favourite game votes this weekend. I gave him a favourite army vote just because I couldn't give him another favourite game vote. Because they were just, everyone who I played was really great and really great fun. If I'm honest, it's difficult to pick between. My game with Rick really stands out because, like I said, it was this kind of like mental exercise
breakdown.
Game. Yeah, and because we both knew neither of us were winning the tournament, unlike when me and Nick played, yeah, there wasn't anything on the line, so we could just toy around and fuck about, and I really like that. Tell me what you think, because and I'm not saying there's an answer. I just would like to know what you think.
I mean, I would like that being sporting or being a good player would affect your would be like a tiebreaker type thing.
Yeah.
Maybe not affect the ultimate standing, but maybe be used in the case of tie-breaking. But I do think if you start putting stuff like people voting for favourite game votes, or like the favourite person that they've played against, as it affects the score, then it will make people not vote in the way that they should vote.
Yeah.
And so then I think you detract from from the most important trophy,
which is
the sporting trophy, and not the general trophy. And so,
by the way, I want to like, before anyone even makes an aspersion, that is in no way, we're not talking about Steve Curtis. Steve Curtis is nothing but a gentleman, yeah, and people really like him. Yeah, like there's nothing to do with Steve. I'm not talking about Steve in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I don't want people to think that we're having this conversation.
Oh yeah, no. So I think because this getting the favorite player vote is a trophy is quite a cool thing. I think it would be better if it was independent of the gaming thing, because now some people aren't going to know that if I vote for this guy, even though I had a great game, it might mean that he's going to end up higher in the rankings than me. So then I'm going to vote for somebody else. And then, so that's going to influence how he ends up, if he gets the sports trophy or not. And
which is why I kept walking around telling everyone not to vote for Andy Hughes. I was like, I went and found all his opponents were like, Andy Hughes is a dick and he kills kittens. And they were like, yeah,
with Kadai.
What?
With Kadai.
With Kadai.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'd prefer it. I mean, really, at the end of the day, I think what they should do is have a gaming, like a generalship gaming thing.
A gaming trophy, a sports trophy.
A sports trophy, and then the painting trophy. And then if you really want, you can have like a complete Warhammer, where you take all three and then you combine it. And then you could have like the complete. But then you know, if gaming is your thing, that's the trophy you're aiming for. Sporting, I don't think you should ever try and aim for that. That should just be based on how you play the game naturally anyway. And then obviously painting that's a different kettle of fish. I think those skills. And then at the end of the day, then you've got a complete trophy which is then going to be taken into account how many,
Well, I wouldn't award it. Like, I know, like, right, Rick saying he agrees with you. I agree with you. Like, I couldn't agree with you any more in my world. Yeah, like, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I think when we get to the stage where the sports vote is being used to do unsportsmanlike things, it detracts from the spirit of the game.
Yeah.
Which is why I think there should be a pure gaming competition. And we agree. Yeah, 100%. But I don't think you should give that trophy out all the time. The grand total winner. Because then the waters get muddied a bit. Like, who won the event? Does that make sense?
Well, who won the event anyway? A lot of people are going to turn up and say, who won the event? And they're going to look at Oscar and say, Oscar won the event because he's got the best painted army.
This is exactly
And then other people are going to say, well, who won the event? Oh, it's going to be, what's his name? The best sports guy.
Yeah, so, and again, I agree.
Because that's more important to them. But then nobody can really turn up and say who was the best general. Although they can in this case, because the guy that won the best general thing actually won all his games. And, I mean, he consolidated with the painting scores anyway, and some favourite game vote. But, that's a separate thing. And then you can, like, they used to do it for the Mo Clash. So Mo used to do it. So you had a first, second, and third for painting. First, second, and third.
Also,
for sports.
faction winner, which I want coming back.
First, second, he just gave out all the trophies. Yeah. First, second, and third for general, and then he had this the Clash champion, and that was, you took all the points and you added them together, and so the guy that won the Clash champion quite often wasn't the best general, wasn't the most sporting, and wasn't the painter, but he did really well in all of those fields.
This is my point. I maybe think you should make it rarer than that. Like, I don't mean that maybe I think it muddies the water a bit, because then you still got, because I'm thinking about people as a group, right? Like, and people as a group, like you said, they attribute different respect to different fields. So if you're a painter, you like Oscar won.
Well,
right?
yeah. So,
but it was predominantly a gaming tournament. Whereas if you go to Golden Demon, and I've got like a really I don't even get to compete gaming wise. My point is, like, let me get to it. Is I think you should only reward the grand champion. Is if someone somehow comes top in all three. It's like you got the best in gaming, you got the best in painting, best in sports, as if they're equal, because they are, right? And you leave it like that. Done. You're done. Cool. Right? And everyone goes home. Right? He's pretty good at gaming. No drama. He's great at painting. No drama. He's a fucking lovely guy I want to take for dinner. No drama. And then no one has any conversations. Whereas if there's then someone who's picked from all those different elements for the best representation of the hobby, that's cool.
The hobby champion.
The hobby champion, that's cool, but it doesn't feel like it's worthless. It just feels like, it's still game votes, still painting, it's all subjective. My point is what if you only give it out? What if someone, it's like, sat there on the mantelpiece, and it's just like, did someone get the best painter, the best sports, and the best gaming in one?
I guess,
then you get the trophy. It's almost like,
I guess theoretically that sounds great, but I mean, most of the time tournament organisers produce the trophies before, and if they're going to make a trophy, which is a good chance, like 90% chance that this trophy will never be handed out, that it's not going to be.
Well, then just don't make it. Just wait. Just put I don't know, whatever trophy costs in the kitty. Yeah, just leave it to the side, right? And what's nice is
I can't see
cost of the trophies in the kitty. If no one wins it goes to a charity. Yeah, and I would sign up to that tournament all day long.
Yeah.
What? Someone didn't do it? All that 80 quid or 20 quid goes to the charity? No drama, because I want it to be hard. I want it to be news.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the default guy.
Yeah.
I did well in everything. I'm the default guy.
No, you're not the default guy.
Maybe you're not the default guy.
Dude.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying, but I mean, you should get maybe an extra pat on the back or something. But I like the idea of a hobby champion. But then obviously, the best general guy, he's going to go into the rankings. The best painting guy is going to go to the painting rankings, and the best sportsman guy is going to get a really good blowjob.
And that's what I mean. And then if there's a hobby champion, like another trophy, always up, people are going to be snipey, like we've just seen them do at the heats just gone. Whereas if it's just like, well, there's no way someone's winning all three, then people are just going to vote. I like that army. I like that. They're like, people aren't going to think about the trifecta. People are just going to concentrate in the areas which they concentrate on. Yeah. No one really concentrates on. I think people, no one turns up to the tournament and thinks, I'm going to get the best sports at this tournament. Apart from me at throwing skulls. And
that's the unfortunate thing is I think if you include sports in the gaming, then you detract from the sports, which
I agree with. We agree. But that's to take nothing away from Steve.
Oh yeah,
nothing away from Steve at all, in any way, shape, or form. He looked like a barrel of laughs. We had a little chat. We were really good. But yeah. Anyway, pretty great weekend.
Cool.
I'm really looking forward to more Warhammer. Are you getting the cough?
Yeah, I can't speak anymore. That's it.
Oh no. How long did we do? Oh shit. Way longer than I said we were going to be. All right. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. That review. We covered a lot of stuff. Like we said, some of those things that I've taken from the weekend, we're going to go and talk about. I'm going to talk about on other shows with other people. So you should see coming the next week or so. Me interview Ben Sava. Should be talking to Jonathan about the realms. Should be talking to Andy about teams at events, but based around your faction as opposed to your club. You can do both. I just thought it was cool, and I like the idea of supporting people. Someone's like, I'm going to take Sylvaneth, and then all the Sylvaneth guys there are just kind of chatting. And also tactics, right? I can talk to you, Nathan. I can come over and say, hey, I'm playing Tzeentch next. But in Chaos Talks, I know the weaknesses and strengths in my list. Me and Andy talked. He's taking a Bull Torok now this weekend. I was like, what artifact did you take? He's like, I just put 5 up in Nora, I'm a wizard. I'm like, let's take on a Torok, let's throw him in. Now he's sending me pictures. He's like, this guy's fucking going. We know our army's better than the other people in our club.
Yeah.
Actually. So it could be really good. Thanks, Nick. Glad Stanley. So, hey, everyone, thanks for watching the show. Obviously, there's been loads of you. It's been really cool. Again, find the people who won the events. Go, send them a tweet, say congratulations. People at Best Sports, Best Painting. If you get pictures, go check them out. And the only thing I can say is go and attend events, because everyone at events is pretty fucking awesome, right, Nath?
Yeah.
And more events. And if you see me, definitely, I'm sure this is true for you as well, Nath. If you see us at events, and you listen to the show, come and talk to us, and don't just come say hi. Say, hey, I'm that guy on Twitch with that Twitch handle, or this guy on Twitter, or whoever, or I listen to the podcast. Introduce yourself and talk to me, and remind me of your name 93 times, because I forget it, but I really want to meet you.
Yeah, definitely. Come and say hello.
Nate, you got anything to say before we go?
No.
No? So I think the only really thing I want to say at the end is goodbye to everyone on the Twitch chat. You guys are wonderful. I want to say that. I should, and I do want to say thank you to everyone who subscribes. Some lovely people who donated money today to the show, and also everyone on Patreon. I can't tell you how excited I am to do coverage over the next year, but also some of the amazing things coming out from the show in the next few months. So look out for that. You guys are paying for it to happen. So I just want to say thank you. You guys are supporting us, so thank you.
Yeah, and happy birthday for tomorrow from everybody on the stream there, it looks like. So yeah.
You're gay.
Cool.
But also, and most importantly, Ben Sava.
Oh, he's pretty hot right now.
So hot right now.
So hot right now.
So hot right now.